Sudarshan, I think you can proceed now. Students maybe
Oh, yeah.
getting joined on the way.
Yeah, sir. Sure, sir. Good evening, everyone present here. I am delighted to welcome you all to the South Indian Biomedical Industrial Conference 1.0, proudly presented by ATHEENAPANDIAN Private Limited in collaboration with Biomedos and Fovias Biomedical. I call upon Ms. Aruna, Biomedical Trainer from ATHEENAPANDIAN Private Limited, to introduce our chief guest.
Good evening, everyone. We are honored to introduce Ms. Kaushika Nachimuthu ma'am, the Managing Director of Expert Edge Medical Innovation. She is a dynamic and highly experienced biomedical engineer with a passion for driving medical innovation. She holds a Bachelor of Engineering degree in Biomedical Engineering from Powai Engineering College and has proven record for excellence in the field. Before leading Expert Edge Medical Innovation, she served as a service engineer at Biogen, where she played a key role in installing, maintaining, and repairing the medical equipment for hospitals, while also providing a technical training to clinicians and healthcare staff. Now, as Managing Director of Expertise Medical Innovation, she leads strategic planning, business development, and innovation initiatives, while fostering partnerships with healthcare institutions and research organizations. She also oversees product development and regulatory compliance, ensuring the successful market launch of cutting edge medical devices. With her expertise in medical device development, regulatory affairs, project management, and leadership, she is the driving force behind the advancing healthcare technology. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Kaushika Nachimuthu ma'am as she shares her valuable insights with us today. Ma'am, now the section is over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. I'm audible.
Yes,
Yeah, yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Audible.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much for welcoming to this interesting conference and share.
Ma'am, I think your voice is not audible, ma'am.
Am I audible now?
Yeah, ma'am. Now it's audible, ma'am.
Yeah, I share my screen. Sorry, I have some signal issue. Yes,
Ma'am, your voice is not audible, ma'am.
now it's audible.
Yeah, ma'am. Now it's audible, ma'am.
I'll share my screen.
Okay, ma'am, sure.
Am I audible?
Ma'am, your voice is breaking, ma'am. But slide
Now
is
it's
everything
audible.
is okay. Yeah, ma'am.
And now it's
Clear,
audible.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am. Thank you.
Sorry for the user. Good evening, one and all present over here. Sorry for my sore throat. If it is any lag or way of communication little abnormal, just let me know.
Okay, ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
Yeah. As you guys attended a grateful conference for past 2 days, I observed that, and I'm here to share my thoughts regarding the career pathway in advancing technology, how the people of biomedical has entered into the technology which was growing in a rapid foundation of medical industries. Yes, we people aware of most of the industries moving towards AI technologies, right? Which was developing in medical industries at their half end to make into an advancing technology, and which is involving the medical devices, healthcare, and managing healthcare equipments, designing prosthetics, enhancing medical imaging technologies, and enhancing in various impactful endeavors to shape the futures, right? You are the biomedical engineers. You have to explore this dynamic field to continue reading your uncovered deservers to impactful opportunities which was biomedical engineering offers. The slide is moving.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. This is like you people all aware of this, like just an overview about biomedical engineering. You all come through all these things. Yes, we are the engineering people which utilizes the principle of healthcare and related to the issues which was faced by the healthcare industries, which was focusing on the designing medical equipments to enhance with the healthcare outcomes. And we are the engineers, right, to expect this various medical devices like pacemakers, artificial limbs, installing, repairing, sales, the service of medical equipments, conducting some researches for existing biomedical devices, which was unimaginable by the people. But we are leading to this generation to tackle all these things, and we are upcoming a rapid generation of producing all these AI things. And we are the people of in the industries which have a training in the medical professionals, which was also followed by some of the pathway which is essential for the biomedical engineers to uplift their futures for their careers. We can see some of the few things in that. Already some people from studies experts, they talk about all these things, right? Career pathway, all of this like research, R&D, research and development, clinical engineering, biomechanics, biomedical imaging, and regulatory affairs. I think you people are little aware of all these things. These are the future endeavors to tackle all these medical industries into a top level and advancing technologies. You know, all this industry is undergoing AI technologies now, and we are moving under the fast furious things in medical industries. We can see about the things, few of them. Like anybody have any idea about research and development? Yeah, that's fine. I'll explain in my way. With this career of R&D, biomedical people are engaged with the medical devices designs. Not only medical devices, they can enter into a pharmaceutical resources, and healthcare technology innovations, which have a multidisciplinary capitalize and prototype of cutting edge of medical devices, which has an implantable sensors for diagnostic tools. And they have a drug delivery system, right? Which is like apart from our system, which the pharmaceutical people also can do all these things. And we have an opportunity to enter into all the systems of medical industries, and we can track in the entire medical industries, and we can also take over all the innovations which was existed and going to exist in this form of this AI technologies and machine learning, virtual reality, augmented reality, and everything. And the clinical engineering. Anybody have a word about clinical engineering? It is nothing but a tool that ensuring the part of an equipment that operates with a critical link between cutting edge medical technologies and the hands-on patient care with the healthcare settings. So there is a biggest future for the people who is entering into the clinical engineering with the more scopes and more training. They have an entire process of learning about all medical devices designs and medical devices eh, modulations, and to be enter into a good part of their careers. And the biomechanics is the part which is the base part of biomedical engineering, right? Biomechanics is also a specified field in biomedical engineering that we can study the aspects of living organisms, particularly a human movement, right? At some musculoskeletal systems, and specializing in the area that contribute a designing development of prosthetics devices, which is like essential things for the old age people is the prosthetic devices and orthopedic implants and accessible technologies which resolves the mobility or enhance the quality of individuals with the disabilities. We can also have AI technologies in all these things to make more effective in the field of biomedical engineering into an advancing medical innovation technologies, and we can move into forward things of R&D to combine with biomechanics, and we can produce a new part of the things. The persons who is studying a graduation at present try to do your projects regarding AI. It will be give a greatest thing in your future, and you can give a greatest output of your projects, and you can grow more and more in all these advancing technologies. Biomedical imaging, this is the biggest part of biomedical engineering and biomedical training and biomedical professionals. Major part of our professionals is development and maintenance of medical imaging techniques used both diagnostic used for both diagnostic and therapeutic equipments. Like professionally in the field, what kind of works they'll do. Like they'll use to imaging the modulation, including X-ray, MRI, CT, ultrasound, nuclear medicines, and everything. They contribute the system of developing image processing algorithm for exchanging the diagnostic the accuracy as well as the ensuring regulatory compliance and safety standards. When the people working under the biomedical imaging, they have to ensure that they'll be come under the safety compliance and the standards of the imaging rules, and they have to maintain all the prospectus which was comes under biomedical imaging. Regulatory affairs. Actually, yesterday I noticed that Surya sir explained you about all the regulatory affairs things, and many people have more doubts about all the regulatory things and process of all regulatory affairs. So I'll just tell a little bit knowledge about regulatory affairs. The engineering of this, the people who is under the regulatory affairs, specifically in the part of safety, efficiency, and compliances of biomedical products. So the product should be in the form of good quality, quantity, everything. It should be good, and it is an essentially development manageable system to maintain all this product performance, and it should be addresses for the potential safety concerns. So because it is the direct contact to the patients, so we have to follow all the safety compliances and the potential safety measures for the equipments which was directly applied on the patient's care. And it is the most important thing that every biomedical should know. The patient care is important for us to do all this updates and all this advancing technology. First, it comes under the patient's care, and the landscape of the biomedical products are into the market of regulatory risks, and most of the things are comes under all the regulatory affairs. You have a greatest pathway for the regulatory affairs in advancing technology, so you can move forward to the regulatory affairs and you can see a better career for a placing in a regulatory affairs things. And what are all the main skills you need to be an biomedical engineer or to be an clinical engineer or specialist application, anything it comes under a biomedical sector. What is the important skill set you should be learned in the things? It's critical care, critical thinking, problem solving, and communication. Critical thinking, use logical reasoning to evaluate solutions. You have to use the logic and reasoning to evaluate the solutions, which is comes under a vital skill of the healthcare professionals, and to make a well-informed decision to lead better patients' outcomes and solve the complex business problems. And problem solving, identify the issues and find the solutions, is one of the main skills to the engineer, not only for the sales role, but everyone needs this thing of process to be known for a problem solving is the main criteria for the biomedical engineer to be known and to be solve the problem in a correct manner by the manual of the machines, and you can form the ability of the statement of the understanding and solving the biological and medical issues which was happened in the machine. And the communication, not only for the salespeople, everyone in the biomedical engineering, like for service, for clinical application, for anybody working under the medical sector or a biomedical industries, communication is a mandatory and it is the essential skill set for the people who is working a primary role in the engineering teams and the field of engineering. This is the model development using AI. By this dynamic biomedical engineering growth, people are expecting more and more in the technologies where the people are need to be an experts in the field, especially in the medical industries. The people and people like you need to be a more survival to the industries which was in the advanced technology. Between this AI and the healthcare is the most underlocking revolutionary prospects. This AI is not just in refining diagnosis, but it is also a steering of course toward the highly professionalized medical treatment, right? Because of AI, we can solve issues by a simple thing when it was past 10 years before happened. Now it is happening. Now it is solved by 5 minutes or 10 minutes using this kind of AI technologies or machine learning or deep learning kind of technology. So we have to update day by day in our innovations to give a greater impact in our source of biomedical engineering to give a most advancing process of this generations. And this is the evolution matrix. This is the growth matrix of the biomedical industries, which was statistical model to give an high comparing different molecules and algorithm, which was we saw before 10 years and it is after 10 years. So we gave a gradual growth in the medical industry when it is in COVID state or when it is in normal state, if anything is fine. We are giving a gradual growth in the advancing technologies and also in the quantitative measures to access this performance, which is comes under more advancing technologies to make people to learn about all these advancing things, and they think that they have to do something regarding all these things, and they comes into their projects and making all these things. They come forward and they are doing all this AI things, and they're making some more difference in some equipments or some more designs in some equipments. They're doing a little bit changes in equipments to give a greatest impact of the machine in the future things. So results and the impacts. Using all these advancing technologies of AI, VI, VR, AR, all these things, the continuous using and adaptation of the studies of the emerging trends and the innovation of these engineering principles are making this part of a numerous advancement and specialization in the field of biomedical, which gives an area of interest and the professional goals. So, like, just take myself. I just worked as a service engineer at the heart of a company, and I learned more and more about all these things. And I came into the part, and now I need to work as an industrialist and everything. But I have a one part of mind that I should design something differently using all these AI things, because everything is growing gradually. So we should also have to grow gradually in the form of all these things, and we have to develop all these things by diagnosing, by treating and preventing all kind of diseases. People should not tell like it is not work out, it is not like. So we have to destroy that word, and we have to give more impact, like they can do anything and they can do everything through all these advancing technologies, and they are be the potential impact of our solution, and they be a end users of us. This is the process of career things which was researched by myself, and I think that this will be the most impacting jobs which was on growing these advancing technologies. So people try to focus on all these things, do more courses and internships in all these things, and gain more knowledges or in all of these aspects. And you come back as a great innovators and great experts in biomedical engineering. These are the future directions. All the future direction is go under AI, meta, and virtual development and deep learning, machine learning. So we have to grow gradually how the technology is growing. If we grow onto this, we can reach a high range of innovations in front of all this industries. The medical industry of biomedical became the top notch of this scalability and generalization of this existing system. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your valuable session on various domains, ma'am. Participants, if you have any doubts, kindly ask to them, ma'am, or put it in the chat box. Participants, anybody have any doubts? I think there is no doubts, ma'am. Thank you for your valuable session, ma'am. Thank you very much for our acceptance to here, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Next, I call upon Ms. Aruna, biomedical trainer from ATHEENAPANDIAN Private Limited, to introduce our next chief guest.
We are pleased to welcome Mr. C.H. Abdul Majid Sir, Program Manager at Philips, to our South Indian Biomedical Industrial Conference. With over 20 years of experience, he has extensive knowledge in program management, product development, quality assurance, and customer service. He has successfully led global projects and cross-functional teams across industries, ensuring high-quality results in healthcare and beyond. Before his current role, he held senior positions at companies like GE Healthcare and ID Searchful. His contributions have spanned product development, field actions for safety recalls, regulatory compliance, and system process enhancement. In addition to his hands-on experience, he holds a key certifications such as Project Management Professional, Lean Six Sigma, and ISO 13485 Lead Auditor, further reinforcing his vast expertise in regulatory standards and process improvements. Let's give a warm welcome to Mr. Abdul Majid Sir as he shares his experience and knowledge with us today. Now the section is over to you, sir.
Thank you, Aruna. Thank you very much for the introduction, and thanks to all of you present here. And I wish, I think, I hope all of you had a very nice session so far, and especially in last 2 days, I think I see a lot of different topics covered. I mean, connecting to the medical devices or biomedical industry. So I hope it was all helpful. So before I start, any comments from you and on how are the sessions going on? Because I just wanted to be very interactive instead of me telling. I mean, me alone telling. So can somebody comment on how was the session so far? Any comments? I don't see any message in the chat, or you can maybe unmute and talk. So are you all available? Are you listening to me at least? Is it audible?
Yes, sir. It's audible, sir. We are listening.
Okay. Okay, good. And any comments, any feedback on the previous sessions? How is it going? Okay, good. I see at least some messages, some emojis in the chat, but nobody want to type anything. Okay, going great. Thank you, Nurul. And anyone else? One more comment, please. Okay, great, amazing, very good. Thank you. Okay, so as I mentioned, you all of you are, I think, getting a lot of information about this. I mean, this topic as well as broadly about the biomedical industry and job opportunities, then the newer technologies. A lot of information you are getting on this. So my topic, as we have discussed here, was as Aruna introduced. I am talking about um, the project management, especially the project management in the medical devices industry. Okay, so I'm trying to share my screen. So let me know once you see my screen.
Okay, sir. Sure, sir. We will inform you, sir. Yes, sir. Now it's visible, sir.
Visible, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
sir.
so um, anytime during the session, if you feel or if you have any questions, you please ask me. I'll try to answer as far as I know, or maybe I'll take it and reply to you on a later part, right? Or you can put in the chat, and maybe some of you from the Athena Pandian can, I mean, consolidate it later and ask me. Okay, so with that, I'm just starting. So these are the topics would like to cover today. What and why project, and the project management different phases, and role of a project manager, and what is special about the medical devices project, and then the medical devices project specific tasks, and of course about the opportunities in the project management. So, what is project? Any thoughts from you? I mean, without reading this, can somebody tell what's your knowledge about a project? Anybody? I just wanted to be interactive so that I mean, I know that you guys are following or you guys are there, because I don't see anybody. I mean, video is on for anyone, so I'm not even sure whether you are there or not. So, can somebody tell me what is project? I mean, what's your knowledge about a project? Or at least put it in the chat, right? So then it seems you guys are not interested in this topic. Is that the reason? No idea. Okay, at least she mentioned that no idea. Project is to improve our practical skills. Very good. Please explain. Very good. No, sir. Okay, good. So at least thanks for responding. So I want this kind of response going forward also. That will really help. Okay, it's our goal to achieve healthcare goals and objective. Very good. Good response. Thank you so much for response, and I wish to have these kind of responses going forward as well during the session. So I'm going back to the presentation. Okay. Yeah. So basically, a project is a temporary activity, temporary endeavor that involves a set of tasks that must be completed to achieve a specific outcome. So it's a lot of English. Basically, suppose you want to achieve a outcome, or it can be a product, or it can be a service, or it can be something, or some service, and it's a temporary activity also, right? It has a start time and an end time. Okay, so examples of projects are like a building, say metro rail, metro train in a particular city. That can be a big project, or building a flyover. That can be a project, or even designing and releasing a device, medical device, or even any device or any equipment. That can be a project. So anything which has a start, uh, time, or beginning and end, that involves a set of tasks that must be completed to to attain certain outcome. That is called a project. Okay, so and all the project and the projects, if we specifically talk about, it has a clear start point, as I mentioned, and it has different phases, and it is temporary in nature. Okay, something which is happening regularly or continuously is not a project. Project is to get a result in a specific time frame. Okay, or an outcome or a service or a product, as I mentioned. So even examples are given here: house construction, or expanding a tour guide service, merging organization, or starting a new business, right? Researching new manufacturing processes. Okay. So key elements of projects include defining the objectives, allocating resources, establishing timelines. Okay, so this is about the project in general. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to, respond. Otherwise, I'll move. I'm not able to see the chat as of now. So as of now, if you are putting anything on the chat, I will not see, but somebody can talk. Then why project management? Okay, so we heard about the project. It has a specific start and end. Then why and what is the relevance of a project? A project management is important because it helps to ensure that projects are completed within a certain time frame and within the allocated budget and the desired quality standards. Okay, so it's actually a triangle. We have to meet all these things. It has to complete it within a certain time, and it has to meet all the quality requirements or all the requirements for that reason, and it should be within the budget also. That's why we need a project. Otherwise, we can just spend as much as we want, take time as much as we want, and then we'll complete it. There is no need of looking into any specific quality requirement. So we'll have to balance all these things, all the three things, like time, budget, and the quality, and deliver the result. That's why we need a project management. And if in terms of a business environment, it helps the business to improve the productivity, efficiency, and the profitability if you do a proper project management. Okay. So when we talk about a typical project life cycle, any project, if you can take some simple examples, as I mentioned, a house construction or anything, which we can connect, all of us can connect to a construction of a house or a building or whatever, right? So it has got a starting point, that is nothing but an initiate. Then we'll have to plan. First, we have to start. Okay, we have to decide to build a house. Then that's the initiation. Then we'll have to plan. We'll have to make a plan for it. Okay, this is a decision. Then we'll have to plan. Okay, this is the location sketch, and we within this sketch, this much is the approximate area we want. So put all our requirements together and plan it with the help of an expert. Then execute it. Then close it. So this is the high level project life cycle. Then okay, for any project, to manage this life cycle, there is a leader required. So that is nothing but a project manager. So project manager's role is to plan and develop the project idea, and then I think create and learn the dream. Form a team, lead a team, create and lead a team, and monitor the project progress. Then solve the issues, because a project or any project, For that reason, is bound to have issues as we progress. It will have definitely a lot of issues, unforeseen issues, which may not be visible during the initiation of the project, but as we progress, you may see a lot of issues. So, project manager has to take a lead to solve it. Otherwise, he can't take the project forward, right? And manage money. That's what I mentioned about the budget. Then obviously the stakeholder satisfaction, because any project will be for certain customers, right? Or I mean, certain say stakeholders will be involved. They should be satisfied with the progress of it, right? Suppose building, we are building, getting a building constructed for a customer. Ultimately, that customer or the user of that product or the house or whatever, that is the customer, and they should be satisfied with the outcome or the progress, even the progress, and at the end with the outcome of it, right? So, in short, the project managers to play a lead role in planning, executing, monitoring, controlling, and closing the projects. They are expected to deliver a project on time, within the budget, and keeping everyone, everyone updated as well as happy. Hope it's clear so far. Any comments? Shall I? Can I look into the chat to see if you are all very good? So I'm getting some response. Any more? One more response, please, to see if you are all listening. Okay, so same person. So anyone else, please? Uh, okay, so yeah, okay, good. Thank you. So I got two response. I'm going back to the screen. So this is all simple. So it's very easy to understand. And so now we are switching to specific projects like the healthcare projects. So if we take in a healthcare environment, there are different kind of projects even in healthcare, right? It can be kind of a facility update, like a hospital, which is a healthcare facility. Their facility update can happen. A new building may need to construct in the facility, or a medical equipment has to be designed and released. A technical equipment has to be designed and released, or even updation to the existing medical equipment or technical equipment, right? So I would like to specifically talk about the medical equipment now, because this is all vast subject. Project management itself is very vast, and if you take any particular topic in this medical domain, that each of one is very vast, and each has its own specialities. So I'm talking only about the medical equipments now. So what is special about the medical devices project? So first of all, medical industry, or even I think you've been hearing about AI and all the newer technologies and all, right? So medical industry is kind of transforming very rapidly, right? So lots of changes are happening, and it's all very quick. So medical devices projects also should be adaptable to the dynamic environment. Like, suppose we are starting a project now, and we are supposed to finish it in a year. Even in the span of this year, or this 12 months itself, it can something new can come. So it should be adaptable to the dynamic environment. And once we are okay to adapt, we should be able to we should have some change management strategies, like accepting, adapting to the newer technologies, or then some revolutionizing the treatment options. Different diagnostic tools and options are coming. Then the major one is the regulatory landscape shift. It's a highly regulated industry, as you know. The medical highly regulated one, and regulatory regulations are bound to change, right? So we are supposed to comply with the latest regulations, right? So we should be able to adapt to that. And it should be a phased approach and iteration, right? Like, we have to suppose it's like a if you take an example of house construction, maybe it has to be broken down to different phases. Like, okay, well, the first phase or milestone can be completing the foundation, or maybe completing the design plan of it, then maybe foundation, then the main what is that concreting or something, or maybe plastering. Different phases is there for a house construction. Similarly, for equipments, there are for the medical industry specifically, we should have different phases so that we are flexible and we can easily adapt to the changes. Then we can improve, like take the feedbacks on each phase and improve or make the corrections and move forward, right? Then another important topic in the medical industry is the risk management technique. It's there in all projects, but here it's more stringent. We should be managing, we should be anticipating all the risks and should be able to manage it. Okay. And based on the risk or whatever risk anticipated, we should be able to mitigate it properly. The project manager has to lead it. So, any questions so far? So I'm just moving on. Then, if we speak about the specific tasks in the project management, especially the healthcare projects, these are something special only for the medical device industry. Each industry may have its own specialities. With respect to the medical device, these are few. I'm discussing only few which has come to my mind, but there may be more. Okay, so this may not be complete, but just to get a flavor of it, I'm just trying to explain few. One is that the medical device classification, right? So each device for the diagnosis purpose, or maybe for the surgery or whatever, which is coming under the category of a medical device, has to be classified. So this classification is based on the risk involved in it while using it. What I mean, the level of risk. Based on the level of the risk, it should be classified into maybe class 1 to class 3. So where the class 1 being the lowest risk, and class 3 being the high risk. There may be some differences in the classification, but I'm just just wanted to convey that there are different classification of medical devices. And even if it's a software only medical device, sometimes it can be software as a medical device, even that has got a classification. So that is something special about the medical device projects. Then we'll have to concept generation. This may be there in all industry, but specifically about the medical device, we'll have to brainstorm different options and conclude on a concept which is acceptable and which is achievable. Then the conduct risk assessment. As I mentioned, risk is an important point here. Identify all the potential risk associated with the medical device. Evaluate the impact, likelihood, and occurrence of it. Sometimes it may be a risk. We identify something as a risk, but that may not be likely to, or that may not be kind of occurring or that frequently. So based on the probability of the risk and likelihood of occurrence, risks has to be classified. Okay, so first we'll have to consolidate all the risks, then each risk has to be classified, and we should have the mitigation in place for all the risks. Then another specialty is prototype development and testing. So again, this is applicable for any equipment, but medical equipment, especially, we need to design the prototype and then do the testing. Then a preclinical testing and approve. We should conduct a preclinical testing and get an approval from the appropriate approval bodies. Then prepare for the regulatory submissions. So as I mentioned, regulation is very key. The regulatory standards are very stringent here, as it's because it's a life-saving equipment. It's connected to the lives, and even if a small error in that can lead to a wrong diagnosis, or can be a threat to the life of the people who uses it, right? So because of that, the regulation is very strict, and we should be compliant to the all the applicable regulations and the latest standards, and develop a quality management system. Basically, all of you are familiar with the quality management system, but specifically for the healthcare, we should establish a quality management systems. How are we planning the design controls? Design control is nothing but like once the equipment, once we start developing the prototype and design the equipments, all the changes has to be controlled. There should be a proper way to manage the changes. There should be a body to review it and approve it, and all the changes should be compliant to the applicable regulations and the standards. So the change design control should be in place. I mean, I'm talking about the different components that should have in a quality management system. And document control, all the documents, I mean, first of all, whatever are related to the project or this equipment what we are designing, all the documents, relevant documents should be I mean archived in a controlled manner. Okay, so it should have a document number in place. It should properly capture the revision history. It should capture who approved it at what date, and all those things has to. That's what is called the document control. It's not like okay, anytime whenever we want, we can update the document and keep it anywhere we want. No, it should be in a controlled manner. So at any point of time, if you take any particular document, you should be able to see when was it released, from when is it applicable, when the last change was made, and who approved it, and what was the change. All those things have to be captured, right? Because medical industry especially is bound to have a lot of audits. Okay, so it should be internal audit, it can be external audits, different external bodies are there to audit. So, I mean, anytime they can check any of these things. They can check our design control. They can ask us to produce any document. So when they check the document, it should be properly managed with all the steps what I mentioned previously, right? Then the risk management, obviously, it's coming everywhere. Risks has to be managed properly and documented with the mitigations, and we should bring it down to kind of a safer, as safe as, I mean, as low as possible to use the equipment very safely. Then the supplier management, like okay, we are an equipment manufacturer, but we will have a lot of suppliers to supply the different components, right? So even that has to be managed properly. We should have a, for example, we should have a proper approved list of suppliers, and they should also kind of archive our drawings, plans all properly. Our requirements should be captured properly. Any changes in the document or in the design of the document, design of the component, that has to be documented properly. Any complaint, that has to be managed. So overall, a good quality management system should be in place for in any project. And then conduct clinical trials and approval. So once we kind of design the product, and once the one initial product sample is ready, it has to be tested with the clinical environment, with in a human subject. It has to be, suppose the device is for human use, human scanning or whatever purpose, diagnosis or any purpose, surgery or whatever, it has to be tested in a human, with a human subject, right? And obtain the regulatory clearance. So initially we talked about the regulatory submission. So whatever document we submitted to the regulation with the plan, later part we have to get the regulatory clearance, so that we can sell that product into that particular market. So when I talk about the regulatory clearance, suppose I am designing a medical equipment which has to be sold for a, which is supposed to be sold in say 10 countries. So I am supposed to get the regulatory clearances in all these countries. There may be some common forum in some cases which gives a certification or clearance. Whatever it is, it has to be cleared in all the markets or the countries where we are planning to sell it. Then there should be a post-market surveillance plan. Basically, once we sell the equipment to a particular hospital or a particular market, there should be kind of proper post-market support, like proper way to, maybe I'll just show what are the components involved in the post-market surveillance. Like we should be able to take the feedback or the customer complaints. Feedback is nothing but the customer complaints or the feedback. Then any adverse event reporting. Suppose somebody is using some hospital or some user is making use of our equipment and they come across with something unusual which is not the regular use of which is not happening in a regular use. Something adverse is happening, it has to be reported. Then complaint handling. So whatever complaint we get has to be properly evaluated in the background, and we should have a certain mechanism if that complaint is, though the complaint is coming from a particular equipment, we need to assess if that complaint is bound to have in other equipments or other the equipments we sold, similar equipments what we sold in the other hospitals or whatever places. So proper complaint handling should be there. Then should perform the monitor the performance of the product. Then the labeling compliance, if we would have seen different kind of labels put on the equipments, right? Each label has got its own relevance, and if you come across any label in future, you can just go through it. It will have some basic components like some symbols, some product names, then some warning signals. So multiple things are will be there based on what label is it. It can be a product label, it can be a warning label, it can be a shipping label. Multiple type of labels are there, and each label should have each label has its own requirements, and all those should be captured in a labeling compliance document. Then obtain regulatory clearance. Then yeah, this is, I think, a repetition which we already discussed. So this is what I have prepared so far, and then so far, do you have any questions before I go to the next topic briefly? Do you have any questions so far, or any feedback? How is it going so far? Oh, I think one question is there. Sorry, I'm just seeing only now. I think Nurul was not able to see the slides moving. Yes, I was moving the slides. I was changing the slides, and I can someone else comment whether you were able to see the slides or you were seeing only one slide.
Yes, sir, we will able to see your slides, sir. No problem, sir.
All right, right. Then it is an issue only particularly with you. Sorry. And okay, then very useful. Any other comments, please? One more comment, please. So apart from the host, nobody's talking. That's not fair. I just wanted some of you to unmute and talk. Yeah, thanks, Rajeshwari. How much time to take complete hospital-based projects, sir? Okay. No, yeah, it's a good question, Muhammad Sahil. Basically, it depends on the projects. Okay. Suppose when you say hospital-based project, it can be an equipment, new equipment installation, or it can be the facility construction or setting up. So based on the project, it can maybe vary. Like it can be say 1 month, or even if it's a big medical equipment like MRI machine, it can take months together to get it installed there. Right? We have to have the proper room for putting the equipment with proper shielding. Then electric connections should be there. All the details, all the requirement has to be met. Then an engineer has to go and install it in different phases. then we should have the kind of, once it's installed, an application specialist will go and kind of give a training or demo to the users, like doctor or radiologist or whoever it is. So different phases, and I mean all these phases and the timelines put together is the project timeline. So it all depends. So any other questions? So there are many topics. I just covered only the high level. And if you talk about the opportunities, maybe briefly in a minute, I'll just cover the opportunities, which may be an item of interest for all of you. Basically, project management is required in all everywhere. I can say everywhere. So now we have seen different phases. If you take only the medical equipment, we saw that a project manager is required for managing the entire project. Then if you take any function like regulatory itself has got their own projects. So regulatory projects are there a project manager may be required. Then if you take complaint handling, that is a project, a sub project, and there also a complaint handling project manager is required. Then if you take what the service, after sales service, maybe there are opportunities for the project manager. So like everywhere in the different functions under the medical industry or medical equipment, there are opportunities for project management. Okay, so it's growing rapidly. The need of a project management is required anywhere and everywhere. So, I mean, I encourage all of you to kind of learn more about the project management. That will definitely help you in general project management. And if you are specifically interested in healthcare project management, you can even learn more about it and do some certifications. There are different certification, and there are different tools to manage the projects. So it's very good and very good area, and a lot of opportunities are there. So I encourage you to learn more about it and pursue your career in case you are interested to manage it. Okay, so any other points? If not, I'll close. Anything else? Anything from the host, Manoj or anyone?
Participants, if you have any doubts, kindly ask to us, sir. Sir, I think there is no question, sir.
Okay, so thank you so much. And Manoj has my contact details. And in case you have any doubts in the future or anything to be consulted in this, you are always welcome. I am ready to help you to prepare you for a bright career in any of these connected areas.
Sir,
Okay,
and then
then
one more question, sir.
yeah.
One more question from the participant, sir. Have you done any project alone, sir? Do you include students while doing the project, sir?
Yeah, I think here basically in my projects I have not included any students. Basically, like when I start a project, in each project, as I mentioned, will have should have different function. There should be some people to design it. There should be some people to manage the regulatory aspects. People from quality, people from service, people from sales, people from clinical. So I just form a team of all these functions, but in case of different projects, there may be requirement of students to be involved. So personally, I have not involved any projects where students are involved. Then what testing and documentation is required for regulatory approval? Yeah, again, Chandu, that is depending on the equipment, what we are asking, what we are applying for the regulatory, right? So based on the classification of the equipment, based on the use of the equipment, there are certain checklists, and that kind of documentation we need to complete. We need to submit it for regulatory approval. So then how can the project management improve the patient care delivery? That's a good question. So project management, yes, patient care delivery, basically like if you design a project, we have to keep the end user in mind always. Okay, like what is this project is all about, and why, how is the user is going to use this. So we have to consider all the usability, all the use cases into consideration, and we should test it properly so that all the users are tested for the ease of use, comfort of use with the safety. So that way we can ensure that it can improve the patient care. What are the challenges you're facing about the project, right? Yeah, there are multiple challenges. Like resource is a major challenge. Like, because suppose I am getting a representative from service to handle the project, the service aspect of the project. That person may be signed up for another project. Then there may be some conflicts, or that person may have some personal emergency and is on leave. So I would have planned the project and project timelines based on the resources availability, considering that the resources available for me to complete it. But suddenly, if that person goes on leave, that may hit on my timeline, or that person is handling multiple projects, that may hit more on my timeline. So resource is a major challenge. Then timeline can be a major challenge. Sometimes we I mean, all the projects basically somehow we won't be able to achieve on time. I mean, so timeline is another challenge. Then the budget is another challenge. So, and there may be some challenges which are I mean, not foreseen as of now, but as we progress, there may be some challenges. Then changing in the environment, technology can be a challenge. So there are multiple challenges. Then what project management methodologies are most effective in healthcare settings? Yeah. So yeah, as you know, like, there are different kind of project management methodologies. Agile is there, waterfall is there. So it's again depending on the project. So then there are some hybrid approach where it's a combination of both agile and waterfall. So I think I would say, with my experience, I would say some kind of an hybrid approach will be better. So we may not need to stick to one particular methodology. We can start with something, then maybe adapt another one, or maybe combination of both. And then later part, if you feel that a different methodology is better, then we switch it to that. So I think yeah, it's all kind of dynamic. What are some skills that is important for healthcare project managers? Yeah, healthcare project managers definitely, like as I mentioned, these three sides of a triangle, right? Like the time, budget, and resource. A person who can manage these things properly in a balanced manner is a good project manager. Okay, so that means, first of all, the major one in this is the resource, right? So resource, how I mean, how can he have a better communication with the project team? I think that way, I mean, he should be a good communicator and good leader. Then he should be a good conflict resolver. He should resolve the conflict in case of anything. Then he should have a big picture in mind. Like, okay, when we do a project, we should have the end user in mind. So I think all these skills should be there for a good project manager, and he should be able to anticipate the risk, right? So better we anticipate, better we can have the mitigation in place. So I think we got a good bunch of questions, and I'm happy that you guys are responding, and at least you guys are listening to me. And very happy for being here. And thanks to Athena Pandian for inviting me to this session. And happy to connect with you all. I mean, Manoj can share my LinkedIn profile, and happy to connect with you. And in case you have any questions in the future on anything related to this, as well as preparing you for a better career in this, you please connect with me. I am happy to help you. And with that, I am signing off. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your valuable session, sir, and then interactive answer to the participants, sir. And then once again, thank you for accepting our invitation, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Next, I call upon Ms. Aruna, biomedical trainer from ATHEENAPANDIAN Private Limited, to introduce our next chief guest.
We are pleased to introduce Mr. Dayaparan Sir, currently a senior engineer, verification and validation at Siemens Healthineers in Bangalore. With over 2 years of experience in software testing for healthcare and medical devices, he has worked on important projects focused on non-functional requirements and regression testing. He started his career as a test engineer at GE Healthcare and then moved on to Capgemini, where he advanced from analyst to senior analyst. He holds a Bachelor of Degree in Biomedical Engineering from Rajiv Gandhi College of Engineering and Technology, and he is currently pursuing an MBA in Finance from Pondicherry University. His experience in healthcare technology and passion for quality assurance in medical devices make him a valuable contributor to the industry. Let's give a warm welcome to Mr. Diabran Sir as he shares his experience and knowledge with us today. So now the section is over to you, sir.
So everyone can see me. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Warm good evening to everyone. Uh, are you all not bored of having two back-to-back sessions? Uh, do you need any break?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. So I don't want to make this also a boring session. I hope you had a very nice 2 days of conference with a lot of experienced people. So I first of all thank Athena Pandian and Aruna for arranging this conference and making me a part of it. I hope you all participants are from biomedical background. Are there any other participants from different background also?
No, sir. All are from a biomedical background and then from biomedical engineering, sir.
Okay, I would like to hear it from our participants, Mr. Manoj. Let them interact. Let's this be an interactive session with them. Are you all comfortable with English? Or you can interact with me in Tamil, English, whatever you're comfortable with. It's just you want to have an interaction with me. So it's nothing how you speak or what you speak. Just want you to speak so that you can learn something as well as others can also learn, which they hesitate to ask. So today I'm here to share my experience on verification, validation, and testing concepts. So in between, wherever you have any doubts or queries, please drop a message in the chat box or unmute and you can ask your questions. So can we move on to the session?
Yes, sir. We will move to the session, sir.
Thank you. Okay, whether my screen is visible now?
Yes, sir. Your screen is visible now, sir.
Okay, since I'm in sharing mode, if you have any questions, please unmute and ask your questions or drop your message. We'll answer to it. I got your message, Muguntana. Yeah, sure. We'll have an interaction session both in English as well as in Tamil. Any people who are here of different language except Tamil, like from Telugu, Hindi, Kannada, Malayalam, anybody is here? At least for this, you can respond something.
Sir, I think all are from Tamil Nadu only, sir.
Okay, okay, fine. So let's start now. Whenever you have some difficulty or can't able to see my screen, just let me know. Okay.
Okay, sir. Sure, sir. I will inform to you, sir.
Yeah. So the topic today we are going to see is verification and validation. So the topics which we are going to see in this session particularly is verification, validation, testing concepts, types of testings, especially in types of testing, manual testing, the testing life cycle, and defects life cycle. I hope anybody has any idea on any of these topics. Just at least definition or anything what you know any of these topics. Without an answer, I'm not going to proceed to another slide. Just reply by unmuting or in a comment. Anything. Do you know what is verification or validation? I hope everyone is from biomedical background. So if the answer is no, also just let me know so that I can able to proceed in that way. Yeah, correct. Rajeshwari, thank you for your response.
Sir, your voice is not audible, sir.
Sorry, is it audible now?
Yeah, sir. Now it's only audible, sir.
Okay. Yeah. My screen is visible, right?
Yeah, sir. Sure, sir. Visible, sir.
Okay. So just let's move. What is verification? Verification is nothing but, as Rajeshwari mentioned, it's very crucial process in the life cycle of product development. It is the process of evaluating how products work to determine whether they meet the specified requirement or conditions. Um, Basically, we can tell that it's a process of checking software, whether it's having any bug or the product that is developed is right or not. Yeah, Chandu, right. Just a minute. Okay. Let me explain in Tamil. வெரிஃபிகேஷன்ன்றது ஒரு சாஃப்ட்வேர் இருக்கு. அந்த சாஃப்ட்வேர் வந்து கரெக்டா இருக்கா இல்லையா அப்படின்னு நம்ம செக் பண்றது தான் வெரிஃபிகேஷன். ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், இப்போ ஒரு do you all have a knowledge of medical machines like CT, MRI? Do you have any guys have any basic idea of that CT machine, how it works, or MRI machine, how it works? Okay, let's make it more simple. குக்கிங், எல்லாருக்கும் குக்கிங் தெரியுமா? குக்கிங் எப்படி பண்றாங்க, என்ன பண்றாங்கன்னு தெரியுமா? Anybody please respond, either in chat or okay. So குக்கிங்ல ஃபர்ஸ்ட் நம்ம என்ன பண்ணுவோம்? ஒரு வெரி எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் குக்கை பத்தி நான் பேசல, ஜஸ்ட் யாரோ கத்துக்க போறவங்க. ஃபர்ஸ்ட் என்ன பண்ணுவோம்? ஒரு ரெசிபி நம்ம பார்ப்போம். ரெசிபியை பார்ப்போம், அதுக்கான இன்கிரீடியன்ஸ் ரெடி பண்ணுவோம், அதுக்கான யூட்டென்சில்ஸ் ரெடி பண்ணுவோம். ஸோ இந்த ப்ராசஸ்க்கு பேர் தான் வெரிஃபிகேஷன். தட் அந்த அவுட்புட்டுக்கான எல்லா எல்லா ரெக்குவயர்மெண்ட்ஸும் நம்மளுக்கு இருக்கா, நம்ம எல்லாமே கரெக்டாக வச்சிருக்கோமா, இப்போ அந்த ரெசிபியில் என்னென்ன இன்கிரீடியன்ஸ் இருக்கோ அதெல்லாம் நம்ம ரெடியாக வச்சிருக்கோமா, ஆர் வி பில்டிங் த ப்ராடக்ட் ரைட். கம்மிங் டு மெடிக்கல் டேர்ம்ஸ், ஆர் வி பில்டிங் த ப்ராடக்ட் ரைட். நம்ம கரெக்டான ப்ராடக்டை தான் பில்ட் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோமா, ஆல் த பார்ட்ஸ் விச் வி ஆர் பில்டிங் இஸ் இன் ரைட் வே. So that process is called verification. More in detail definition now, there is a definition. Verification is the process of checking that software achieves its goal without any bugs. Bugs in the sense it's error or some problems. It is a process to ensure whether the product that is developed is right or not. Okay. So what comes validation? Validation என்ன? நம்ம ரெசிபி பார்க்குறோம், இன்கிரிடியன்ஸ் இருக்கு, யூட்டென்சில்ஸ் இருக்கு, எல்லாமே பண்றோம், finish அவுட்புட் வந்துருச்சு. The output we got a dish. Okay. So that dish, are we building the right product? அது எப்படின்னா அந்த டிஷ் வந்து whether it satisfies our taste, whether it satisfies the looks what we want to achieve. So if this both is done, then we have done a correct recipe or correct product, we can say. Like all the requirements are correctly placed and the output is up to our expectation, then it is the process of validating the product. Validation is the process of checking whether the software product is up to the mark. It checks what we are developing is the right product. It is the validation of actual and expected products. Okay. So verification is the first process and validation is the end process. Anybody having any doubts in this verification or validation? At least you are understanding something. No, sir, is for understanding or you understood? Thank you, Mukundana. So we'll proceed to the next part. Next part is called testing. Validation. Okay. Validation is, for example, we are building a product like any product, phone, car, machine. You take a product. So first, if you take Chandu, can you tell me which product you are more comfortable with? Which one you can understand more? Any product. Mobiles. Okay. So you see mobile as an output. The mobile in complete form is output, but it has various factors, right? Like battery, software, inside the mobile's applications, and as a hardware part, it has minute components, everything. All together makes the mobile. Okay. So verification is each and every product when we are assembling it, whether if they test, that is called verification. Like the battery is up to the mark, it meets the requirement, it is verification. The camera pixels working fine, it is verification. Then once they assemble all this part together and when they make it as the end product, the mobile phone, if the camera is working good, battery percentage is good, the phone's functionality is good, that is called validating. Validation is the user end requirement. உங்களுக்கு அந்த ப்ராடக்ட் எப்படி நீங்க யூஸ் பண்ணணும்னு நினைக்கிறீங்களோ அப்படி அந்த டெஸ்டிங் டீம் அந்த ப்ராடக்ட்டை வேலிடேட் பண்ணுச்சுன்னா அதுக்கு பேர் தான் வேலிடேஷன். யூ காட் இட் சந்து, ஆர் யூ வாண்ட் மீ டு எக்ஸ்பிளைன் இட் மோர்? Thank you. So next we'll move on to testing. What is testing? So on the slide லாம் பார்க்காம டெஸ்டிங் பத்தி உங்களுக்கு என்ன தெரியுமோ just give a comment. Right, correct. To check the product or machine is working properly. Any other thing? Okay, I can see only 2 or 3 people replies to check the output, right? Any debug of the product. So deep, okay. Let's leave the medical aspects of testing. Can someone unmute and tell me if you are looking for a dress or clothes in a shop, what do you look for? Can someone tell me? You're going to a shop for buying something, you're taking a dress, how do you choose the dress? Somebody unmute and tell. It's okay if you tell the answer in English, Tamil, whichever you're comfortable with, please. So you're all are stick to chats only. Okay, fine. Okay, color, quality, brand, price, right? Quality. That's quality. How do you check the quality of the product? How do you know the product is a good one or a bad one? How do you know? Cloth texture, right? Trial, right? Trials maybe for the size, not for the quality, I guess. Cloth texture, okay. Cloth texture அந்த cloth பத்தி knowledge இருக்கவங்க பார்க்கலாம். பட் டு பி ஃப்ரேங்க், இப்போ நான் என்ன பண்ணுன்னு சொல்றேன். இப்போ நான் ஒரு கடைக்கு போறேன், ஒரு ஜீன்ஸ் எடுக்கிறேன்னா அந்த குவாலிட்டி நல்லா இருக்கான்னு இழுத்து பார்ப்பேன். ஸோ ஹவு இட் இஸ் ஸ்ட்ரெச், ஹவு இஸ் இட் ஸ்ட்ரெச்சபிள், is that good? Or if I'm using any brand jeans earlier, so I know about it whether it's good or not. So the brand image will tell me this product is a good one, I can use it for this long time, right? This process is called testing. So we everyone are tested in our day-to-day life, not the one who is qualified, but we all are tested in our day-to-day life. Coming to the biomedical aspect, testing is the process of identifying the correctness of a software or an application by considering all attributes and evaluating the execution of software components to find the software bugs, error, or defects. This is the definition, okay, that you can see in the screen itself. What to say? A software application is there, okay, a system, mobile, anything like machines. I asked a question to you. You have any idea of what a CT machine, MRI machine does? So if you have any idea, it could be easy for me to explain, or I could tell that also. You guys actually know what a CT, MRI machine? No answers. Is that silent defines that you are not aware of that? Okay, let me tell you what is CT. CT is a computer tomography machine. You're going to a hospital, you want to take a MRI, create an image of the inside of the body, right? Okay. So let me give MRI, CT, everything is same. MRI uses magnetic resonance, CT uses X-ray. Let me give you example. CT machine. When you go inside hospital, you want to take a scan. Okay, the doctor prescribes you to take a CT image. What you will do? You go inside a scanning room. You lie on the table. The doctor outside the technician will be taking a scan of the body part which the doctor prescribed: head, abdomen, leg, neck, etc. So you will be moving through that donut shaped machine, front and back, so that your body part is scanned through an MRI and you got the image. Have you anybody seen X-ray image or CT image anytime? How the output will be? Okay, then I'll explain what that there is inside. If there is no interaction, then there won't be any knowledge share, or you won't get any idea. I just want you to be very open and frank, like how Chandu was. Okay, why do we test the software? We need software testing for customer satisfaction. Our end motive is to satisfy the customer who is investing in our project or who wants that product. Customer satisfaction can be the company which sells the product as well as the customer who buys the product. Okay, then cost effective. If we do testing, then the cost of the building the product would be less. If, for example, we made a mobile, we released it in a market, but it is having so much of bugs, then what will happen? The buyer won't buy that mobile, so its sales will be dropping. So what we invested, we can't able to get. So if we do a testing, then we can make that rebuilding process cost very effective. Quality, we can able to understand the quality of a product when we test. Low failure, as that implies cost effective everything. If we test a product, the failure will be very less, since we will be able to find any bug during the testing process. We'll fix it, and we'll uh, then developer. You know the difference of a developer and a tester. Just drop a message as you do. Do you know the difference between a developer and a tester? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Your voice is audible, sir.
Okay, so waiting for your message. டெவலப்பர் டெஸ்டருக்கான வித்தியாசம் உங்களுக்கு தெரியுமா? வாட் டஸ் அ டெவலப்பர் டூ, வாட் டஸ் அ டெஸ்டர் டூ? I'm not getting any message. Mugundana, Rajeshwari, John. Developer, okay. Right, you're partially right, but I appreciate for your message. Developer develop the products of. I like this answer. Yeah, right. You're so accurate. Okay. Okay. Developer, he develops the product, but how? He writes the code for the product. Any product will be based on the code. Okay. So CT machine, mobile phone, anything. The one who writes the code is called the developer. Like we had a cooking example, right? The person who wrote that recipe is called a developer. Okay. We are just following that recipe to make a final product. The developer who writes the code to create codes to develop software. Right? Very right. So developer is the one who writes the code to develop a software, and tester who tests the code to check whether the code is right or wrong. So as the image in the slide shows, developer who develops the code, and we tester who found new bugs in that code, how they are. So the role of developer is to write the code accurately, perfectly, and the tester has to break the perfectly written code into a very perfect form. If the developer is very sure that the code is 100% correct, then the tester should make that code 200% correct. Nobody is perfect here, right? யாருமே perfect கிடையாது. எல்லாரும் 100% இருக்க முடியாது. Some place something will be wrong. So the role of the tester is to identify that. So next we move on to the types of testing. Okay. These are the types of software testing. Anybody have any knowledge about testing? இதுக்கு முன்னாடி நீங்க டெஸ்டிங் என்னன்னு கேட்டிருக்கீங்களா, இல்ல அதை பத்தி ஏதாவது ஒரு நாலேஜ் உங்களுக்கு இருக்கா? Is there any lag between what I speak and what you hear? Is there any lag?
No, sir. It is clear, sir.
Okay, then please respond quick because we are very short of time. This is like an ocean. There is so much deep into this, but I'm not going very deep into that ocean because I want you guys to dive into it and learn. This is just a explanation how this ocean is. So tell me, software testing பத்தி எதா ஐடியா டைப்ஸ் இந்த ஸ்லைட்ல கிட்டத்தட்ட ஒரு 10-15 வேர்ட்ஸ் இருக்குமா? இதுல இருந்து எதா ஒரு வேர்டுக்கான மீனிங் உங்களுக்கு தெரியுமா? ஸோ உங்களுக்கு எந்த அளவுக்கு தெரியுன்றதை பொறுத்து நான் எந்த அளவுக்கு சொல்லணுன்றத டிசைட் பண்ண முடியும். It's software testing, identify the errors in software, right? Because it's very easy to run a 30-minute session without making the audience understand what it is about. ஸோ எனக்கு அப்படி பண்ண வேணாம். அது ஒரு 10 minutes இருந்தா கூட அதுல இருக்க ஒரு 5 விஷயத்தை நீங்க தெரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டீங்கன்னா that would be so good. Okay, or let me do a thing. I'll explain this. So if you have any questions or if you don't understand anything, just drop a message in the chat. We'll discuss it after this topic. So types of testing. Types of testing. The first type is testing is divided into 2 types: manual testing, automation testing. Manual testing is tester manually use the software to find bugs or issues by following a test case. Okay, test case is ஒரு set of task or procedure to test a product. அதை மேனுவலா ஒருத்தர் டெஸ்ட் பண்ணாருன்னா அதான் software testing. Since you guys are all from biomedical background, but I don't want to give you examples in medical things. Let me keep it in real time examples. Okay, you got a phone. Everyone is having a phone, right? Can you respond for this? Everyone is using a phone or know how to use a phone?
Yes, sir, we are using.
Okay. Thank you for that. Okay, so when you take a phone, you want to test something manually. You open a cam, you're going to a shop, you're getting a phone. I hope the first thing all people will do is open the camera and see the selfie camera, back camera, how it is. You took a photo before getting a phone. So what you're doing is called manual testing. You're taking the phone in your hand, you're opening the camera, you're checking the feature of the camera. That is called manual testing. Automation testing is right opposite to manual testing. It runs the automatical script. The developer will be writing a script in the sense a code language like C, C++, Python, anything in this language. There will be a script, and that script will be run in background to check the future of the testing. Like it will automatically open the camera, it will automatically click a picture, it will automatically detect the pixels, the quality, everything. So manual testing can be done by everyone who has knowledge, who doesn't know what it is, anything. But automation testing requires more knowledge, and we are not going into that topic today. We are into manual testing today. In manual testing, there are 3 types of testing: white box, black box, and gray box. What is white box testing? Every software, right? If a camera and a phone is functioning, there is a software or code written on back of that, right? So if the person who tests the software knows the code, then it is called white box testing. இப்போ ஒரு பர்சன் கேமரா டெஸ்ட் பண்றவங்க அதுக்கான அது எப்படி ஒர்க் பண்றதுன்ற கோட தெரிஞ்சிருந்தா அது பேர் ஒயிட் பாக்ஸ் டெஸ்டிங். ஓகே, இஃப் அ பர்சன் who test that camera doesn't know about anything about coding. இப்போ ஒரு பர்சன் இருக்காங்க, அவங்களுக்கு கேமரா ஓபன் பண்ணணும், டிஃப்ரெண்ட் டைப்ஸ் ஆஃப் போட்டோஸ் எடுக்கணும், எல்லாமே நல்லா இருக்கான்னு செக் பண்ணணும், அது மட்டும் தான் அவங்க ஒர்க்னா தட் இஸ் கால்ட் black box testing. They don't have any knowledge about the code. Gray box testing is like having partial knowledge on code as well as doing black box testing. It is a combination of white box and black box testing, you can tell. Okay, in black box testing there are 2 types of testing: functional testing, non-functional testing. Functional testing sense testing the software functions as it should behave according to the requirement. Product or machine works well. Very right. Okay. So how do we functional testing? Functional testing is the testing the function of the product. Okay, each and every function in a medical device like CT. Each and every function means
the scan, how the patient is lying in the table is a function, how the table is moving is a function, how the gantry is, gantry in the sense that donut shaped ball is called gantry, how the gantry is rotating is a function, how the scan is produced is a function. In mobile, camera is a function, message is a function, apps, your WhatsApp, Twitter, anything, how the app works is a function. So testing all this function is called functional testing. Non-functional testing, apart from the specific functions, how your phone performs or how much it holds. Like you're having using your phone for more than 30 hours. Okay, whether the battery life is up to the mark, whether at 100% charge, how many hours you can use that phone, or how much heat it is producing. Few phones will be producing more heat when we use for 1 or 2 hours. Few phones are very good. Their battery performance, their stability, all these are called non-functional testing. Okay. Do you understand what is functional, non-functional testing? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So functional testing kulla a few types are. I have only mentioned few testing types here, but there are so many. Unit testing each and every application or each and every feature is called unit testing. For example, everyone has used calculator, right? How to use, you know how to use a calculator?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So if I'm doing 6 plus 5 in a calculator, which function am I testing here?
Addition.
Right, addition. So if I check 6 plus 5, it is called unit testing. If the answer should be 11, of course, right? It can't be 12 or 10. It should give us 11. That is called unit testing. We are testing only the addition part. If I am testing 6 minus 5, I am testing the subtraction part. So it is called unit testing. Testing each and every functions. Okay. I don't want to be so out of topic. So if you're considering medical device, our device is made up of different components, right? Any medical device you are aware of, can you name me any medical device?
Digital thermometer.
Thermometer, right? So thermometer has a different components. The main components are the thermometer is at mercury level. I'm talking about the traditional thermometer, not a digital or something. Digital thermometer has a digital mercury inside that. Traditional one, you know, when we keep the mouth, the mercury will rise, right? The mercury is the main component. Stethoscope, the hearing part is a component. The transducer inside the hollow shaped, which receive the signals, is a components. So there are different components in a machine. Okay, if we test each and every components working, that is called unit testing. Let's move on to integration testing. Integration testing, as the name implies, nothing but we are combining two features together to test a function. How many have an idea of modulus? Do you know modulus? You would have studied in your school, college, modulus.
A positive value.
Now, modulus is like if you have an equation, how do you simplify? It's a multiplication of division. Do you have any knowledge of like that? Modulus? Okay, fine. Then okay. When you take a photo in a camera in your phone, what do you do? Just real-time example. Models of function, right? When you take a photo in a camera, what you do? Few people will see the photo. If it is not nice, they will delete it. Few people will share that photo, right? When you are taking a photo, and pressing that share button, it should automatically show the options below, like Instagram, WhatsApp, or wherever it should be posted. It should show the option. If that option is not being shown, then there is a defect, like there is an error in the phone. Okay, so this is the integration between the camera and the function which shows the apps. Okay, understood?
Yes.
Okay, so next one is system testing. System testing means complete system is being tested, like each and every function of a product is being tested from starting A to Z. From, like, if you want to tell, like CT machine, how I said, from the patient entering into the imaging room to the patient getting out of imaging room, whatever process is that, everything should be tested in a flow. That is called system testing. Okay. So now moving on to non-functional testing. First thing is performance testing. Under performance testing, there is load, stress, scalability, stability. You can see this all these definitions in Google. If you type the testing, then you will get all the definitions. Just I'll give you overview. Performance, that how fast or efficient the product is working. You are all aware of the Corona period, right? We all saw how the Corona period was, right? Yeah. So during Corona period, a hospital would have encountered around 1,000 patients a day, right? Whichever my friends who are working in hospitals, when I heard, on a normal average day, they used to have 100 patients in imaging room, like CT, X-ray, they have 100 patients. During Corona time, they had 1,000 patients in imaging room per day for testing how their lung is functioning. Okay. So a machine which is used to perform 100 scans in a day, if it is to be performed 1,000 scan, should it perform or should it not perform? Like, to be more simple, ஒரு மிஷின் இருக்கு. அந்த மிஷின் வந்து ஜெராக்ஸ் மிஷின் எடுத்துக்கோங்க. அந்த ஜெராக்ஸ் மிஷினால 1 மினிட்க்கு 60 காப்பீஸ் பிரிண்ட் பண்ண முடியும் நார்மல் ரேஞ்சில். If that machine is tested to produce, லைக் அந்த ஒரு நிமிஷத்துல மேக்ஸிமம் எத்தனை காப்பீஸ் அந்த மிஷினால போட முடியும்னு டெஸ்ட் பண்ணா அதுக்கு பேர் தான் பெர்ஃபார்மன்ஸ் டெஸ்டிங். ரைட், யூ காட் மை பாயிண்ட்?
Yes.
Okay. To testing the stability of the machine under extreme conditions. So this is called performance testing. Next, so anybody have any doubt in any of this testing, or you want to know any of this testing? Just post your questions in the chat. Any testing topic you are not very sure, or you want still more explanation, just post it in the chat. Just 1 minute, we'll move on to the next topic. If you have no doubt, just post no. Okay, so believing Subisha has no doubt, we'll move on to the next topic. STLC. Do anybody know what is the expansion of STLC? What is SELC? Am I boring? Do you guys get bored? Be frank, you can tell me. Okay. It's not going to take more time, just 2 more slides. That's all, I'll finish soon. I don't want to make your evening so bored. Software testing life cycle. Yeah, great. So STLC means software testing life cycle. We were talking about testing, right? So how this testing is happening? It should be having a format, right? When you're studying in school, you had a format, right? You first enrolled in LKG, or lower kindergarten, then UKG, first standard, second standard, you had a format, right? You are not enrolled directly into 9th or 10th, right? So there is format for everything. When you enter into college, they gave you the syllabus from the starting, beginner syllabus. They didn't give you the direct final year syllabus to prepare, right? So everything has a process. Like that, testing is also having a process. STLC is software testing life cycle. There are 6 important life cycle in this phase. Okay, and this is very very important if you are going to not visible. Is it visible now? And anybody
Sir,
see
it's
my
visible,
screen?
sir.
Okay, I think Sushmita has raised your hand. Do you have anything to say, Sushmita? No. If you have anything, you just unmute and tell or drop a message. Mukundana, can you see my screen now? No, so can you check your connections? I think you have some problem in your connection.
The screen is visible to us, sir.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
they have a problem, sir.
yeah, they have a problem, and I have a problem in that. I want everybody to be seeing this. Mukundana, can you leave the meeting and again join the meeting? Okay, so we'll continue. So the first phase of this SCLC is called requirement analysis. Requirement. We have a client or customer. Okay, you all been to a tailor shop? Have you all been to a tailor shop?
Yes, sir.
So you know. So it's very simple for me to explain. When you are in a tailor shop, what you do? You give your clothes. Okay, you are the customer there, and the tailor is the one who makes dresses for you. Okay, so you give your clothes. That is one of the requirement he gets. You give your measurements, right? That is second requirement the tailor gets. So this is called requirement analysis. The person who develops the product will be getting the requirements from the client, and he will document the requirements, how the product should be, how it should perform, how it should look. All this is called requirement analysis. Okay, and if you are going to pursue a career in testing, this is very important topic for you. So just pay some attention to this. This first topic is called requirement analysis. The product developers will be getting the requirement from the client. Second one is test planning. So the requirement is the product developer has received this requirement. What he will do, he will plan the test. Okay, of course, that will be the next step. We'll be
Yes, sir.
we'll be writing test cases to test how to test the product. Okay, test environment setup. What do you understand by test environment setup? Anybody?
A software or tool used to do the testing.
Right? We are ready to release the product. So we are closing the testing cycle. That is called test cycle closure. You guys got an idea of what is STLC is, or you want me to explain any of this step? Just respond quick. We'll move on because it's very late already.
It's clear, sir.
Okay. Anybody else? I got one approval for moving forward. Mogadana, can you see my screen now? Is it visible now?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Yeah, Muhammad, I think there was one person who was telling that screen was not visible. Okay, so I was mentioning like defect cycle. Yeah, right. What is defect cycle? Will there be any product without any defect or any problem? When we are building a product, is there any product that there is no mistake or 100% correct?
No chance.
Yeah. So have you guys any time experienced like you are in examination, you got a question, you are writing the answer, okay, and after everything has been written, one again if you come to that answer and check, there will be some mistake. Have you ever experienced this, or you have written everything perfectly? புரியலையா? ஸோ நீங்கள் ஒரு எக்ஸாமில் இருக்கீங்க, ஒரு கொஸ்டின் இருக்குது, அந்த கொஸ்டினுக்கான ஆன்சர் எழுதுறீங்க, எழுதி முடிச்சுட்டு அந்த கொஸ்டின் பேப்பர் ஃபுல்லாக முடிச்சுட்டு திருப்பி ரிவிஷன் பண்ணும்போது அந்த கொஸ்டினுக்கான ஆன்சரில் ஏதாவது ஒரு மிஸ்டேக் நீங்கள் பண்ணியிருக்க வாய்ப்பு இருக்கா இல்லையா? லைக் யூ மேயோட மிஸ்ட் கன்ஜெக்ஷன், கமா, எனி திங்.
Yes, sir, sometimes we find some mistakes all over.
Yeah, that is called defect. So that is called a bug or defect in software part. Okay, so one product has been built. Okay, the developer puts his blood and sweat to product development. He works day and night, he develops a product. Okay, so when the tester tests the product, he finds a mistake. One error or mistake done by the developer leads to the defect or bug in the product, and that leads to the failure of the product. And we testers should not leave the product to the failure stage. So what we are doing is, during the testing phase, we are identifying that defect and reporting it to the developer to rectify its defect. Okay, so நம்ம அந்த எக்ஸாம்ல வந்து அந்த மிஸ்டேக்கை பார்க்குறோம், பார்த்துட்டு அப்படியே போயிடுவோமா? வில் ட்ரை டு மேக் சம்திங், சம் சேஞ்சஸ், லைக் வில் யூஸ் த whitener or we use some marks to mention that Mr. symbol, something we used to do, right? So there we act as both developer and tester. But in product life cycle, there is different persons who do this developing part and testing part. Okay. So defect life cycle in the sense like software testing life cycle, software developer life cycle. There is also a thing called defect life cycle. Okay. In the defect life cycle, so you found a bug. Okay. What you are going to do? I'll explain this life cycle in an order. Then you can ask me whatever questions here. Okay. The first step is new. We'll identify the bug, whether it's first time bug or it's a repeated one. So a new bug has been identified. Okay. Assigned. The identified bug is assigned to a development person or a team. Okay. You guys are understanding what I'm trying to tell, or you want me to explain in Tamil? Okay, I think I'll explain both. First, as of new part, ஒரு பக்கை நம்ம கண்டுபிடிச்சிட்டோம். அந்த பக் வந்து ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டைம் அப்பதான் சிஸ்டம்ல அக்கர் ஆகுது. ஸோ தட் இஸ் கால்ட் நியூ பக். அசைன்ட் as I said, அந்த பக்கை வந்து நம்ம ஒரு டெவலப்பர் ஒரு டீமுக்கு அசைன் பண்ணுவோம். தட் இஸ் கால்ட் அசைன்ட். ஓப்பன். Open is nothing but the developer starts working on the defect to understand and fix it. Okay. இப்போ ஒரு பக்கை வந்து நம்ம டெவலப்பருக்கு அசைன் பண்ணிட்டோம். இப்போ அந்த டெவலப்பர் அந்த பக்கை ஒர்க் பண்ண ஆரம்பிப்பார். அதுக்கு பேர் தான் ஓப்பன். ஓப்பன்ல 4 டைப்ஸ் இருக்கு. டூப்ளிகேட், ரிஜெக்டட், டிஃபர்ட், நாட் அ பக். Duplicate in the sense same bug could have been reported twice or many times. That is called duplicate bug. Rejected in the bug, it is a invalid or not a bug itself. The tester may have wrongly identified it as a bug. Deferred bug. It is a bug, but they won't fix it in the current release of the version. Like example சொல்லணும்னா டிஃபர்ட் பக்ன்றது இப்போ ஒரு மொபைல் ஃபோன் ரெடி ஆயிடுச்சு மார்க்கெட்ல லான்ச் ஆகிறதுக்கு. அந்த டைம்ல ஒரு பக் அவங்க ஃபைண்ட் பண்றாங்க. பட் அதை வந்து அப்போ அவங்க ஃபிக்ஸ் பண்ண மாட்டாங்க. வாட் தே வில் டு இஸ் தே வில் கீப் தட் பக் அண்ட் ஆஃப்டர் த ஃபோன் இஸ் ரிலீஸ்ட் இன் த மார்க்கெட் they will release that bug fixation as a software update. Everyone gets a software update in the phone, right? And each and every time when the phone is getting software update, some bug is getting fixed by the phone company. Okay, that is called deferred bug. Not a bug. Not a bug is same as rejected bug. It is not a bug, whereas it is the expected behavior. இப்போ ஒரு ஃபங்க்ஷனாலிட்டி ஆஃப்ல இருக்குன்னா அந்த ஃபங்க்ஷனாலிட்டி ஒர்க் வந்து ஆஃப்ல இருக்கிறது தான் at that point of time. It should not be in on state. And if some tester is reporting it as a bug, then it is not a bug. It is working properly. So these are the 4 types of open cycle. Then fix. Developer worked on that bug and he has fixed the bug. It is called fix the state. Retest. Pending it is nothing but is a part of retest. So retest is a bug fix ஆயிடுச்சு. So again it comes to tester for testing. If that bug is tested and it is works fine, then we move on to the verified state. Okay. If again the bug occurs, then we goes to reopen. Again the life cycle follows from open to retest. Okay. So once the bug is verified in the sense we again test the bug to verify its functionality, whether it's working fine or not, or இப்போ அந்த பக்கை ஃபிக்ஸ் பண்ணதுனால வேற ஏதாவது ஃபங்க்ஷனாலிட்டி மாறி இருக்கா அப்படின்னு நம்ம டெஸ்டிங் பண்ணுவோம். தட் இஸ் கால்ட் ரெகுலேஷன் டெஸ்டிங். Change in any functionality should not affect the functionality of other feature. Okay. Closed bug. Closed என்றது everything is fixed. Defect is fixed, verified, it is working fine, so it is marked as closed. This is the defect life cycle. So I think you would have got some idea about software testing. And I thank everyone for joining this session, and also thank ATHEENAPANDIAN and the team Aruna for making me a part of this conference. So this is my contact. If you guys have any doubt or questions, you can drop me a mail to my mail ID, or I'll share my LinkedIn ID. You can connect with me and you can ask any doubts you have. Or if you want me to help in any of your interviews, I am ready to help you. Like you want to prepare, or you want to have any idea how to perform the interview, or any topics you want to do, I can help you. You can just connect with me or drop me a mail. Any questions you have for me?
Thank you, sir.
No.
Thank you for your valuable session, sir. And then thank you for accepting our invitation also, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Manoj. It's my pleasure. Just 2 minutes. Let me wait for their questions.
Yeah, sir. Sure, sir.
So you guys understood? Yeah. Yes.
So just after completing a BTech of biomedical engineering, can someone directly get into testing and risk management like this one, this type of way?
Of course you can get, but let me share my experience. I just completed my BTech in 2022. I'm not that old to comment on this, but I can tell you my experience as a friend. Okay, I complete my BTech in 2022, biomedical engineering. I got into Capgemini. I'm not sure whether you are நீங்கெல்லாம் aware இருக்கீங்களா எனக்கு தெரியல. Do you know Capgemini?
No, sir.
Okay, like TCS, HCL, Wipro, Mari, Capgemini is also a software company. If you have time, just Google it. Okay, I got into Capgemini. In Capgemini, 3 months training program. They will take you as a analyst. Okay, analyst in the sense quality analyst, like that role. They will take you inside like that. Then each and every company is having a project with a medical based company. Okay, anybody கூகுள் பண்ணிருக்கீங்களா என்னென்ன மெடிக்கல் பேஸ்ட் கம்பெனி இந்தியாவில் இருக்குன்ட்டு? செஷன்ல தான் யாரும் பேசல, இப்பயாச்சும் அட்லீஸ்ட் ஜஸ்ட் ஸ்மால் இன்ட்ராக்ஷன்.
Like we have heard there are big factories for manufacturing sectors for the Siemens and Philips.
ரைட். இந்தியாவில் இருக்க டாப் 3 மெடிக்கல் பேஸ்ட் கம்பெனிஸ்ன்னு பார்த்தா Siemens Healthineers, GE Healthcare, Philips. These are top medical based companies. So in the companies kuda silla are you guys aware of product based and service based companies? What is product based company? What is service based company? Okay, let me tell. Service based companies are examples: TCS, HCL, CTS. These are all service based companies in which they get the employees and they will give the employees to other product companies for as a contingent workers. Okay, you will come under the payroll of service based companies, but you will be working for the product based companies, their projects. Okay, and product based companies, you are getting into direct employee of product based companies like Siemens, GE Healthcare. It is called those are called product based companies which manufacture, test the products. Okay, you could have seen products having Siemens Healthineers logo, GE Healthcare logo, Philips logo, everything. Okay, so what I did was, first initially I got into Capgemini. From there I was sent to GE Healthcare for a client. I worked in CT project. I went to the client place. There they had a real CT machine. We used to manufacture the machine, test the machine. I've been working there for two years, like CT tester. I'm a manual tester in CT machine. After that, recently I attended an interview in Siemens Healthineers, and now I am a direct employee in Siemens Healthineers. I'm working in cancer therapy application. So it's a lot more for you to understand when you experience, because நான் காலேஜ் படிக்கும்போது உங்களை மாதிரி தான் நானும். எனக்கும் பெரிய ஐடியாலாம் கிடையாது. டெஸ்டிங்னா என்ன கம்பெனி இருக்கு, அதில் என்ன ஒர்க் பண்ணுறாங்க, எதுவும் கிடையாது. பட் ஒன்ஸ் யூ கெட் இன் டு தட், you will like this work a lot. This is very good. Both the company and the working environment is very good. So it is based, Muhammad, your question, if you can directly get into a product company, it is based on the company's requirement. I don't want to be so negative, but to be frank, freshers, I'm not sure whether they are ready to take freshers into a product-based company. Maybe after an experience of 2 or more, you get a very good chance to get into a product company. or if you have a very good profile as a fresher itself, then you have a good chance of getting into a product company.
Thank you, sir.
Anybody else? Anybody want to ask anything? Okay, if you have any questions or you want to connect with me personally, just drop mail or connect with me in LinkedIn. Thank you all for this session. Thank you for your participation. Have a good evening. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your valuable answer to the participants, sir. Thank you once again, sir.
Thank you.
Next, I call upon Ms. Aruna, biomedical trainer from ATHEENAPANDIAN Private Limited, to introduce our next chief guest.
It is a great honor to introduce our distinguished guest, Dr. Jeffrey Winner, sir, accomplished medical pharmacologist, clinical researcher, and an academic leader. He has a broad range of expertise that spans across clinical pharmacology, biostatistics, and biomedical research, making him a pioneer in his field. He completed his MBBS at Vinayaka Mission Medical College in 2020 and completed his MD in medical pharmacology at JIPMER. He currently serves as a senior resident at SR Medical College and Hospital, where he is engaged in clinical practice and research, focusing on cutting-edge projects such as academic clinical trials for epilepsy. Dr. Jeffrey's clinical skills and patient handling expertise have been instrumental in his contributions to medical research and practice. In just 2 years, Dr. Jeffrey has published 10 research papers and served as a peer reviewer for respected journals like Wiley and Bentham Science. In addition to his clinical work, Dr. Jeffrey is a research methodology and biostatistics mentor, helping others design research studies and analyze data. We are incredibly fortunate to have such a versatile and inspiring medical professional with us today. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Jeffrey Winner, sir. Sir, now the section is over to you, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I'll start sharing my screen. So before starting, so I'm not from biomedical background. I'm basically a physician, and so the session is just going to be a physician's perspective. So you might be designing various instruments and medical devices, and when it reaches the end of the physician or when it reaches the user, so here most of the medical devices are used by physicians or are going to be some other healthcare practitioners. It might be someone who is engaged in a lab, and some might be used by patients as well, right? So when it reaches the healthcare professional end, so how it is going to be perceived and what are the expectations from their end. So that is what I'm going to give a glimpse about it. So I might use some medical terminologies as well because I've been in this field for more than 10 years, so I might use some medical terminologies as well. If you have any difficulty in understanding, you can interrupt in between and ask me and clarify. Okay, so I'll share the screen and start the session. So in this session, we'll be dealing with various aspects. So what are medical devices, and like if you most of you might be knowing this. So medical devices can be instruments, apparatus, or machines used for diagnosis, treatment, or prevention of a disease. So please note this point once again carefully. It is going to be diagnosis, treatment, or prevention of disease. Okay. So, and the examples can be pacemakers, insulin pumps, surgical robots, diagnostic imaging devices. Okay. So all these can be considered as medical devices, and all these are used in either diagnosis, treatment, or prevention of a disease. So pacemakers are used in prevention of a disease as well as treatment. Insulin pumps are again used in treatment of diabetes, and surgical robots are again used for
treating various surgical ailments, diagnostic imaging devices, that is starting from a simple X-ray machine to the high-end MRI machines that are available. Those will be coming under the diagnostic imaging devices, which is predominantly used for diagnosis. Okay. So next we'll see about a few things that can be misunderstood as medical devices. So which might be used commonly, but they don't come under medical devices. Okay. So you might have seen people wearing contact lenses with multiple colors, right? So you might have seen people wearing contact lenses with multiple colors. So that can be purchased from, I mean, an optometrist or wherever you get your lens and spectacles purchased. So those things, whichever doesn't have any effect on a vision, are not considered medical devices, because as I told, it should be either useful in diagnosis, treatment, or prevention of a disease. Here, all these three criteria is not fulfilled, right? So it neither helps in diagnosis, neither helps in treatment or prevention of disease. So these are not considered as medical devices. So the same counterpart, we have contact lenses that are prescribed by ophthalmologists, that is the eye doctor. Okay, so those will be considered as medical devices. So whatever you get, the other one, whatever I told initially, will be considered as a consumer-based product. So it's not going to be a medical device. And another one common example is pregnancy testing kits. So pregnancy testing kits, usually most of us might be thinking that it is a medical device, but again it is a consumeristic device or a consumer-based product. Okay. So the reason being is doctors are not satisfied with urine pregnancy test for confirming pregnancy. Okay. So of course it is good enough to screen and find out something, but it's not confirmatory. So the confirmatory test for diagnosing or detecting and confirming pregnancy is going to be ultrasonogram. Okay. So that is why again this is not considered as a medical device. So again there is a medical condition called varicose veins, so where we prescribe compression stockings that are medically indicated. So sometimes what happens is people try to get their own products from shops and start using. So those socks which we commonly use, that won't be considered as a medical device. And we have numerous healthcare based apps, right? And all these won't be considered as medical devices. So this is the basic difference. And again, you have ECG recordings as well as continuous glucose monitors that monitor your blood glucose level throughout the day. So all these things, even though they seem consumeristic, so the last two examples which I have shown, that is the Apple Watch which can record your ECG, as well as the continuous glucose monitoring device that monitors the glucose and displays in a mobile in the form of mobile application. These two are considered as medical devices because these are medically indicated. So continuous glucose monitoring is medically indicated for patients with diabetes, and continuous ECG monitoring is medically indicated for people with congenital heart diseases or rhythm-based disorders. So we say rhythm-based disorders. Yeah, these are medically indicated. I think someone has raised their hand. So if you have any queries, you can ask. You can unmute and ask. Yeah, please go ahead. Please unmute and ask a query. Okay, so I think it was accidentally pressed upon. So I'll go ahead with my session. So I hope there are no doubts as of now. Do you want it in a Do you want it in a slower pace, or is it okay, or am I sounding too sophisticated?
No, sir, everything is okay, sir. You can proceed, sir.
Okay, fine. So coming to the role of medical devices in modern healthcare, so the major breakthrough is in enhancing diagnosis and treatment. So most of the times in the era of medical devices, there has been a major evolution. So we started with X-rays back, and now we have MRI machines, so that can diagnose various diseases much before than we see clinical symptoms. Okay, so that is what we say accuracy and precision in diagnosis. So just a question related to MRI. So how do we measure the quality of MRI scans? How do we measure the quality of MRI scans? So we have pixels, right? So for camera we have pixels. So similarly for internet speed we have MB per second or GB per second, whatever it is. So similarly, how do we measure the clarity of an MRI image or the quality of an MRI image? What is the unit that is used? Yeah, detectors are basically the integral part of MRI machine that is going to capture your image and that is going to present it in the form of a report. So how do we measure the clarity? So yeah, if you want to have an analogy, I can say like, so we use megapixels for camera. So similarly, we use HD, 4K, 3K, all those things for television and stuff, right? So what is the unit for this? So have you ever heard of Tesla? So 1.5 Tesla, 3 Tesla, 5 Tesla. Have you ever heard about that? So that is, yeah, that is going to be the quality indicator for MRI. So if you want a better image, you have to go for higher Tesla. So clinically, the most commonly used MRI machines, the most commonly used quality for MRI imaging is 3 or 3.5 Tesla. So nowadays we have up to 20 Tesla MRIs. Okay, and the efficiency of these machines is being published as well. So if you want, you can go and check it. So the next image which I am going to show is basically from. So this image is from a 20 Tesla MRI machine. Okay, this is from a 20 Tesla MRI machine, and this is PET scanning. So I'm not going to go into any intricate details of PET scanning. So if anyone is interested, you can let me know. I'll explain it. So of course, because that's beyond scope, I believe. So if I go into the intricate details, it will be a little bit confusing for you. So if anyone is interested, you can let me know. I'll explain it. So a glimpse of it, positron emission tomography. So these are used for early cancer detection as well as detection of cancer spread. So cancer can spread from one organ to another organ. So when we have numerous organs involved with the cancer, particular cancer, then we go for PET scan. Okay. So again, next major agenda will be, the initial one was enhancing diagnosis and treatment. So the next major agenda was support for treatment procedures. So we have the Da Vinci surgical system, and which popularized robotic surgery. So is anyone aware of this Da Vinci robotic system? Of course, there is a brand name. That is not just a trademark. That is not a generic kind of thing. So Da Vinci system. Is anyone aware of Da Vinci system? Yeah. So that was the first and the most popular robotic instrument that was approved. When was it approved? Any idea? When was it approved? Yeah, you can unmute and speak. Again, if you want me to speak in Tamil, that is also fine. But I am not sure whether everyone will be able to understand it. So Da Vinci system was approved by FDA back in 2000. Okay, so it was almost 25 years back. So it was approved by FDA back in 2000, and after that it slowly came into the picture. And but still it is not that commonly used because there are various factors involved. So just remember, not all advanced or sophisticated equipments can be used. So like in my previous example, as I told, like we have 20 Tesla MRIs, but in clinical practice we usually use only 3.5 Tesla MRIs. because there are a lot of other factors that play a role when it comes to usability of a product that is being developed. Okay, so always remember, when a product is not going to have practical application or not going to have any sort of feasibility, then the sustainability of the product in the market is going to be very low. So it might be a medical device, it might be any product. Okay, so the first criteria for a product to succeed, or the first criteria for the product to have impact in healthcare or any other sector, is going to be usability. So of course, if you want to consider something as food, what is the first criteria? If you want to consider something as a food material, what is the first criteria? Yeah, again, this is a question. I'm asking a question. So if you want to consider something as a food, what is the first criteria for that? Either you can unmute and speak, or you can just type in the chat. Okay, I'll try to answer this. So if you want to consider something as food, the first criteria is it should be edible, right? Only after that, taste, texture, all those things are going to come. First, it should be edible. Similarly, for a product to be considered as a good product or a feasible product, the first thing is it should be usable. So, and the users here will be medical professionals. Medical devices are going to be used by medical professionals. Okay. So, when designing a product, what are the things that we have to have in mind? So, that is going to be the crux of today's session. So again, the next thing is going to be improving patient outcomes. Okay. So as I told, we have heart monitors or Holter monitors that is used for continuous ECG monitoring, that is electrocardiogram, which is going to monitor the activity of your heart. We have continuous glucose monitoring that is used for diabetic patients. So previously, if you see a few years back, like 10 or 15 years back, this continuous glucose monitors weren't that popular. So recently, nowadays, various clinical trials have proven that any patient with diabetes not only needs to check his or her sugar levels in frequent intervals, like weekly or monthly, something like that. Previously, that is what even we prescribe. So you can check your sugar levels monthly or weekly or something like that. But nowadays, continuous glucose monitoring is recommended by most treatment guidelines, and this is what we recommend. So in a day, if you take 24 hours in a day, at least 15 to 16 hours, your sugar level should be within normal range. Okay, so it will be usually fluctuating, you know that, and it should be within normal range. So that is considered as good diabetic control medically. So nowadays, even continuous glucose monitors are used commonly. Okay. So apart from that, surgical devices, laparoscopic surgery, as well as advanced wound care systems, that is negative pressure wound therapy. So these are commonly used devices, and these devices help in speedy recovery as well as better outcome of the patient. Okay. Any doubts so far? Any doubts so far from the initial slide to whatever I have told? Because I am using a lot of medical jargons, I cannot help it. So I am using a lot of medical jargon. So if you have any doubts, please interrupt me in between, clarify it so that we can move ahead. Of course, even you can ask your questions in Tamil as well if you want. Any questions? Okay, so I assume we are good to go.
Yes, sir. I think there is no doubt for the participants, sir. You can go.
Sure. So, what are the benefits of medical devices from a physician's perspective? So, it actually improves the efficiency. Okay. So, we can work more efficiently with lesser number of people, right? So, For ages from now, if you ask me, physician burnout has been a major issue in hospitals for ages. You might be knowing, so most of the physicians are overworked. People work for 24 hours, 36 hours continuously. Those things are very common in hospitals. So what happens is there will be increased efficiency. So when you have something that can do the monitoring on your behalf, when you have something that can decrease your workload, that is going to increase your efficiency, right? So that is what a physician expects when you introduce a medical device. Yeah, I'll answer that question. So that actually depends. So the pressure is gradually adjusted depending upon the wound. Okay. So initially it is started, and so if you want to have an exact answer for each wound criteria, then you will have to consult a surgeon. Usually these are done by surgeons. I'm not a surgeon, but usually it is adjusted based on the based on the progression of the disease. So initially higher pressure is applied. Once the wound is getting better and better, during the healing process, the pressure is gradually reduced. So that is how it works. Does that answer your question? Okay, fine. So the next one is advancing personalized medicine. So devices that can be tailored to individual patient needs. So I'm not sure how many of you are aware of it. There are various testing kits as well as websites or softwares that are specifically designed for people with liver diseases or kidney diseases who needs dose adjustments or personalized treatments for various diseases. For example, let's take a common drug. Let's take paracetamol. So paracetamol needs an intact liver to be metabolized and excreted. So if a patient is having liver disease, or if the patient is having some sort of liver issue, then the patient cannot be given paracetamol as usual. So they might be given a lower dose, or that there might be a total contraindication where we won't be able to give it. So those conditions might exist, and that might be dependent on the patient's condition. So if the patient has, let's say, 20% derangement, then you can give paracetamol, but at a lower dose. If the patient if the patient has 50% liver derangement, then again the paracetamol dose has to be still more reduced. So if the patient, assuming he or she has 70% derangement, then obviously you will have to totally stop or avoid giving paracetamol, right? So these are the various scenarios. So based on the data that is being collected from various studies and stuff like that, we train different models, or we code accordingly, and we have softwares for predicting the doses. So if the usual dose is going to be 500 milligram, the patient with 20% liver impairment might take 400 or 300 milligram, and the patient with 50% might take 100 or 200 milligram. So it changes. Okay. So this is what advancing personalized medicine. Okay. So the next one is going to be better patient monitoring. So I have already told. So this is a part of, this can be considered as a part of increased efficiency. Like it is going to reduce the physician burnout, and it can always do better than humans when it comes to workload, right? Of course, machines can handle workload better than humans. Now comes the important concept which you have to understand. So anyone who is going to design a product from a patient perspective, design a product that is going to be used by a physician on patients, on human subjects, then it has to be clear. So any idea about what is this? So any idea about what is this? Efficacy and effectiveness. You can just attempt at least, because the whole concept of today is going to revolve around this. Okay. So when you are designing a product and bringing it into a clinical trial to test in human subjects, or if you are going to get it approved by FDA, this is what is going to be the major cornerstone. So if you cannot prove these things, then none of the device is going to come to market. It's the same for drugs as well. So that's why. Any idea about this? Of course, you can just type yes or no at least so that I can explain. Okay, assuming you don't know, yeah, so ability of a product, okay, so I think this might be correct from biomedical perspective. So from clinical perspective, so because since I'm talking from a receiver's end or the user's end, so efficacy is something, let's understand it with an example. I'll show it in the next slide. Okay, we have two images. So this is the image of Da Vinci system, and this is the image of conventional surgery. Okay, so this is what we were. So this is how we were trained when we were students. So now we have robotic surgeries as well. Of course, it's coming up, but it's not that common. Only very few institutes in India has robotic surgery. Okay, I think in South India, apart from private institutes, only very few institutes, government institutes, especially JIPMER had robotic surgery and facilities for that. I'm not sure how many government institutes other than JIPMER has. Okay, so it's a luxury. As of today, it's a luxury. Okay, so this is the conventional surgery that has been done for ages. You have an anesthetist, you have two surgeons. So one will be the major surgeon and one will be the assistant. So that is how usually surgeries are done. So from a theoretical perspective or from outsider's perspective, the Da Vinci system is much more accurate, right? The Da Vinci system is much more accurate. If you are a surgeon with less experience and if you are doing a surgery for a very first time, usually we have tremors. That's why always you initially start as an assistant and then become a surgeon. Okay, usually for any new surgery, people develop tremors. That is very common. So those kind of tremors will be nullified by this machine. Okay, this is going to neutralize those tremors and going to enhance the accuracy. So, and as well as there are many other advantages. There is going to be very less chance of bleeding. The incisions are going to be so accurate. You are not going to have any sort of excessive blood loss or whatever adversities that you are going to expect. Okay. So since this is going to be so accurate, from the outside, it might seem it is going to be so effective, right? But here, humans are doing it. Of course, they have expertise in that, but still there can be human errors. The incision might not be that accurate. There can be some adversities that you can expect due to human factor, physician burnout. There are a lot of other, some surgeries go for 24 to 36 hours continuously. There can be obviously physician burnout or surgeon burnout and stuff like that. So those things can obviously influence the outcome of this condition. So on the outset, among these two, which one do you think is more efficacious and which one is effective? So initially the Da Vinci system can be considered more efficacious. Okay, more efficacious. Efficacy means you are attaining something that you desire in a best possible way. So I want a surgery to be performed. I want a surgery to be performed. So that could be done in the best possible way with all resources by the Da Vinci robotic system. But unfortunately, that is not going to be available all across the country. And the cost of getting a robotic surgery done, finding a robotic surgeon is really tough. So in such an instance, in real world setting, the conventional method is going to be more effective despite lower efficacy. Okay, so the efficacy of conventional surgery is going to be less, but it is going to be more effective. But in the Da Vinci system, the efficacy is more and the effectiveness is less because the real world application is going to be less. Is it clear? Because this is the most important concept that has to be understood. That is why I am asking again and again. So is it clear? Shall I move ahead or do I want to explain this once again?
I think there is no doubt for the participants, sir. Please go ahead, sir. No comments in the chat box, okay, sir.
Okay, fine. So I'll move it. So now coming to medical devices, when introducing medical devices, what are the challenges physicians face? So that is another important question or another important area that has to be explored. So there is a learning curve. Training and adapting to new technologies, maintaining proficiency as devices evolve. All these are going to be challenges. So learning curve, if you see, especially most of the surgeons or most of the physicians are trained in lower resource setting. So India, as of now, from whatever experience I have, I've been in the medical field for around 10 years. So from whatever experience I have, so the way we were taught and trained, we are always taught like you work in a constrained resource setting or a poor resource setting, so where you don't have much of it. So how do you manage that? So that is the kind of training we get in medical colleges in India. Okay, so mostly you are taught the conventional techniques first and then the advanced techniques. So a surgeon who can do conventional surgeries will take at least 1 or 2 years to learn laparoscopic surgery. Laparoscopic surgery is very common nowadays, right? Most of you know. Most of you know laparoscopic surgeries, and some of you might have undergone laparoscopic surgeries as well. But still, in reality, for a surgeon who knows conventional surgeries, to learn laparoscopic surgery will take 1 to 2 years. So these are the various constraints or various ground realities that are there when we adapt for newer technologies. Okay. And as well as device reliability. So this again happens with ventilators. So what is the major issue with ventilators that are available today? Can anyone answer this from the users end? What is the major issue with ventilators that we use today? All of you are aware of ventilators, right? Of course, after COVID, you cannot say that you haven't had the term ventilator. Obviously, we will be aware of ventilators, but can anyone answer this from user's perspective? Of course, even if you type, it's okay. It's better if you can unmute and speak. So this is the problem with online sessions. It's very difficult to point out people and ask answers from. The live sessions will be much more interactive and much more impactful as well, but unfortunately, this being an online session, there is no other go. So if you see, ventilators are usually not that user friendly. Each brand will have their own user interface, their own settings and stuff like that. And so again, when you introduce a new ventilator, thank you so much for your answer. It's for artificial breathing. So it's actually not for artificial breathing per se. So I'll just correct this. Okay, don't mistake me. I'll just correct this. It's not for artificial breathing. It's to support your breathing. Okay. So the patient is going to breathe. Sometimes the patient won't be able to breathe. That is an exception, but it is going to support your breathing. Okay. So that is the purpose of ventilation. So like ventilators, especially each brand will have their own user interface, their own UI, UX and stuff like that. So it is difficult to adapt again. So when you are introducing a new company of ventilator to an intensive care unit, people struggle to learn it, and people sometimes are not sure whether they are getting whatever is being displayed there. Okay, so those issues can be there. So that is an example for device reliability, and device reliability is again very common with laboratory devices. So usually we go for as like whatever has been discussed in the last session, we go for clinical validation. So that is the biomedical part of validation. So once that is done, once you test in clinical trials in humans and people like that, then we go for clinical validation, laboratory based validation, all those stuff. There is a lot behind that. Okay. So the last one will be, of course, this is the most important as well as the practical kind of thing, cost and accessibility. Okay, cost and accessibility is another important factor. Here again, you can have the example of Da Vinci system, where of course it is going to be accurate, it is going to be efficacious, it's going to be very good, it's going to eliminate all the human errors that can happen. but still the high cost makes it impossible for everyone to use, right? So that is the practical difficulty that we face when we go for sophisticated systems. Again, of course, if you feel that Da Vinci system example is going to be too sophisticated, you can take usual examples. So what is the cost of doing a CT in a private setup? Doing a CT scan in a private setup. Most of you have undergone CT scans, right? What is the cost of doing a CT scan in a private setup? Or MRI, whatever. Of course, in government setup, it's free. In India, at least wherever I work, that's what I've seen. In government setup, it's going to be free. But in private setup, what is the cost? So CT costs from 3,000 to 5,000, and MRI is going to be at least near to 10,000. Yeah, 2,500, 3,000, 5,000, up to 5,000. Okay, fine. So, and MRI is going to be almost 10,000 at least. Almost around 10,000. Of course, I am just telling an approximate figure. It might be little less or little more. Okay. So, do you think everyone will be able to afford for this? Of course, obviously not. Again, that is another example for cost and accessibility. So now this is another important perspective from consumer side, or so people like me who are involved in testing of devices in humans as well as drugs. So I have been involved in various clinical trials where we test medical devices or drugs in humans. So there again, the important factors come in. So you need to have patient consent and safety. So that has to be there, as well as regulation and compliance. So initially, when I was discussing about the effectiveness and efficacy, I was telling like that was the most important terminology, or that was the most important concept that has to be understood from the regulator's perspective. The regulator wants to know only one thing: whether your device or a drug or whatever product you are testing in humans is going to be efficacious. Okay, because in clinical trials you can only test efficacy. Effectiveness cannot be tested. That can be obtained only from real world experience when we start using it. Okay. Yeah. So from the regulator's perspective, the most important thing is patient safety and efficacy. Okay. And now these are the emerging trends. Of course, this is just for the sake of conclusion. You might be knowing better than me about all these. You have artificial intelligence and robotics, as well as wearable devices. Once we need to go to the hospital to get things checked or get things done. Nowadays, you can check your heart rate. Even you can have ECG readings with the help of smartwatch and stuff like that. Previously, there was no provision for that. 5-6 years back, there was no provision for that, and you need to go to the hospital to check whatever health parameters you need to check. And as well as 3D printing and custom devices. So these are also on the way. Okay. So these are the various nuances that we have today, and always, as I told, always remember, when you are designing a product, it should be usable by the consumer. Here the consumer is going to be medical professionals or patients, right? And should be able to balance innovation and healthcare. Always try to balance innovation and care. So the care aspect comprises of usability. So you have to innovate, and as well as it should be usable. It should not be something so sophisticated that no one is going to use it. Okay. And physicians play a critical role in integrating devices into practice. So it's always, I do not know how medical device manufacturing and stuff happens, but it's always better to have an integrative approach. So what is being expected from a physician? For example, if you're designing a device for hearing loss, let's assume if you're designing a device for hearing loss, then you can consult someone who is a specialist or who is going to prescribe that. What do they expect? What do patients expect? So those expectations can be taken into account before designing a device. Rather than designing and upgrading it further, those expectations can be prospectively taken inside or imbibed, and the device can be developed. So that will make better devices, as well as those devices will have better practical application than the one that is going to incorporate updates again and again after being introduced in the market. Okay, so that is another important point to be noted. And as well as you have to stay updated regarding the advancements, as well as the newer technologies, as well as the regulatory aspects as well, right? So this is another important point to be noted. So this is the final slide of a presentation. If I had sounded a little sophisticated, I'm sorry for that. I cannot help it. I have tried to simplify my level best. Of course, you can always ask questions from this. I won't be able to give any sort of career guidance or anything like that because I'm not from biomedical background. So if you have any questions related to whatever I have told from the medical perspective, from consumer's end, if you want to know something from the consumer end, I can give my inputs. Any questions?
Participants, if you have any doubts, kindly ask to the sir or put it in the chat box.
Of course, again, if you're hesitant to ask me questions, obviously you can always mail me or call me or whatever. Okay, so whichever you feel comfortable. So this is my mobile number. You can just WhatsApp me if you have any doubt from the consumer's perspective. So usually I'm very sure the consumer's perspective is not discussed that commonly, but if you have any doubts and if you want to know how the end user is going to benefit out of it, how is it, then obviously you can contact me.
Thank you, sir. I think there is no doubts for the participants, sir.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your.
Yeah, please.
Thank you so much for your valuable time, sir, and then beautifully present based on the decision perspective, sir. And then thank you once again, sir. And then thanks for accepting our invitation, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. So thank you so much for your opportunity, and I believe this might be new as well as little bit of enlightening as well. And any questions? Someone has raised your hand. Any questions?
Kritika, if you have any doubts, kindly ask.
Okay, I think it was by mistake. Okay, fine. Again, thank you for the opportunity. So I hope this was relatively new as well as enlightening as well, at least to some extent. Of course, I'm not from biomedical background. I have tried to do as much justice as possible. And
yeah, sir, it is very useful to us, sir.
Yeah. Hopefully, I think it will be useful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Next, I call upon Mr. Sudarshan, Head Operation of International Phobias Biomedical, researcher and a trainer at ATHEENAPANDIAN Private Limited, to call upon our next chief guest.
Good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure to introduce our distinguished speaker for today, Mr. Blizan Kuriakos. With over 14 years of extensive experience in the in vitro diagnostics and medical equipment sectors, he has played significant roles in sales, marketing, and service across multiple Indian-based medical equipment importing companies. Showcasing his deep expertise in the industry, currently Mr. Kuriakos serves as the CEO of V4 EdTech Private Limited, where he leads initiative designed to empower medical equipment professionals and entrepreneurs through specialized educational programs. His efforts bridge the knowledge gap in the medical equipment field, helping to foster growth and innovations. In addition to this, he is the technical manager at IQZYMA MedTech Private Limited, a company dedicated to providing essential regulatory services that ensures compliance in the manufacturing, importing, and exporting of medical equipment, thereby supporting the industry's adherence to critical standards. So please join me in welcoming Mr. Blizan Kuriakos, sir. Sir, it's over to you.
Thank you for the valuable presentation. Thank you. Actually, it's a late time, and also thank you, Adina sir, for the opportunity you are given, and the valuable team is there behind you. And I think it's today. I know Mohan Manoj called me more than 3 times and said, you have to be in this time, and it's a privilege to take this opportunity. And Manoj, is it audible?
Yes, sir, it is audible, sir. Thank you, sir,
Thank
for
you.
being here.
Okay. Okay, and actually we are into my intro is we are into South Indians only, no?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Basically the participants from Tamil Nadu, sir, and then
Tamil
students and
ஓகே கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சம் தமிழ் தெரியும். ஆனால் நான் என்னோட எப்படின்னா கேரளா தான் என்னோட ஊர். நான் இங்கே இண்டஸ்ட்ரியில் வந்துட்டு 14 years ஆச்சு. 14 years. Okay. Today I am presenting for entrepreneurship skills because இந்த opportunity வந்த டைமில் என்ன பேசணும்னு கேட்டேன். அப்போ நான் சொல்லியாச்சு என்டர்பிரினர்ஷிப்பில் தான் இப்போ ஸ்பெஷலைஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கு. அது எப்படி ஸ்கில் பண்ணணும், எப்படி பயோமெடிக்கல் இன்ஜினியராக வந்து அதுக்கப்புறம் நம்ம ஒரு என்டர்பிரினர்ஷிப் ஆகணும், அதுக்கு என்னெல்லாம் தேவை இருக்குன்னு ஸ்கில்ஸ் வேணும் தான். இன்னைக்கு ஜஸ்ட் டிஸ்கஷன் தான். எல்லாரும் தூக்கமாக இருக்குமா தெரியாது. ஓகே, எப்படியாவது எல்லாரும் கேமரா பின்னாடி இருக்கு. ஓகே, எனிவே கேன் வி ஸ்டார்ட்? யூ கேன் ஷேர் மை.
yes, sir, yes, sir.
ஓகே ஓகே. Okay, screen visible இருக்கு.
Yes, sir, your screen is visible, sir.
Okay, okay. Actually, this is opportunity to entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship என்னன்னு கேட்டா என்ன entrepreneurship? What is entrepreneurship? Anybody can make a message or audible. If any Malayalis is there, you can be a part of it. Okay, okay. And anybody? Nobody. Okay. என்டர்பிரினர்ஷிப் வந்து அது எப்படி நான் சொல்லியா, நம்ம பிஸ்னஸ் ஆர்கனைசேஷன் தான் என்டர்பிரினர்ஷிப்பாக நம்ம சொல்லணும். ஓகே, அப்போ பிஸ்னஸ் எப்படின்னா நம்ம ஒரு ப்ராடக்ட் வாங்க அது எப்படி சேல் பண்ணணும், how to and make profit. It is also called as business. ஓகே, இன்னைக்கு இங்கே வந்த டைமில் என்டர்பிரினர்ஷிப் ஸ்கில்ஸ் தான் நம்ம பேசணும். First of all, I need to introduce myself. I am Biomedical Industrial. I am from IQSI MedTech Private Limited. It's a company related to CDSU. As you know, everybody, regulatory services is there. We are providing the regulatory services for manufacturing companies, okay, and marketing companies, distribution ship. And also, I am specializing for QMS, Quality Management System, for ISO 13485. And just we can go for first slides. We need so many skills for making as an entrepreneur. Okay, be an entrepreneur, it is not an easy task. It is a task with our knowledge, with our skills, with our experience. These all things we have to combine to be an entrepreneur. Okay. First of all, I start my career in 2012, and I working in a hospital. Everybody is a biomedical. Most of them are biomedical. I know that. And first thing, we are into comfort zone. So after studies, what we think we can be in a hospital and we can maintain the missionaries in a hospital, isn't it? And we gone to a hospital and we given our resume and we start our career as a biomedical engineer in a hospital, isn't it? Everybody is now you are in the as we told, now you are in the comfort zone because only my face is visible to you. Nobody's face is visible to anyone.
Okay, so you can sit anywhere, but I have to speak regularly, and I have to see you all in front of me, and I have to speak like you are visible and doing the notes. Everything I have to what we call. I have to create it. No, this is comfort zone. So first of all, when I join in a hospital, it's a comfort zone. We have to go for a hospital within 9:30, and we have to leave by 5:30, and we have no works. Okay, by 9:30 we will go. I think it's audible. If any interruption is there, please let me know. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sir, sure, sir. I will inform, sir.
Oh, okay, okay. Then we start our career by 9:30, and we gone to by 10 o'clock. We will start our routine works. We will take a note, and we will rounds. We will start during the rounds. It will complete by 12 o'clock. We will sit in the biomedical room, and we will speak in our language or something else. And how many of you are taking the manuals or user manual or service manual of instruments? More than, I think, more than 3,000 equipment. If we include small equipments to large equipment, we can see that more than 300 is, if we go for a small hospital, you can see the instruments. Nobody is looking for the manuals. Everybody is we are in the comfort zone, no? So we can sit any like what we like. That's the main thing. And at that time, I have a manager is there. He talked to me. He told me, if you sit like this, you can't become a biomedical engineer, because knowledge is ATHEENAPANDIAN private limited company. Now they are providing a wonderful job, because providing a learning skills to a skilled biomedical engineer. It is a massive thing now in current situation, because very difficult to get the job in current situation. So at that time, from 2012 I start. 2013, my manager told me, you have to do some skills, and you have to be biomedical engineering specialization. At that time, nobody is. I don't know. I have some friends and families. I talk with them. Till now, I talk with them. I am a biomedical engineer. Nobody know what is biomedical engineer. Up to 14 years completed, still the people is confused what is biomedical engineer, what the things we can do as a biomedical engineer. And the journey starts from there, and we can go for the slides and skills starts. So we need just if we need to talk about an entrepreneurship, it's more than 5 days required to know what is entrepreneurship. It's a big journey, and what are the skills we required is more than 1,000, because skills will not be limited. Skills will be இப்போ என்ன பேசணும்னு சொல்லியா, இப்போ என்னோட மலையாளம் தான். இப்போ பேசுன டைமில் தமிழ் பேசணும், இந்த முன்னாடி வரும்போது தமிழ் பேசணும். ஓகே, அப்போ அது ஒரு ஸ்கில் தான், கம்யூனிகேஷன் ஸ்கில். ஓகே, now I am taking as 10 entrepreneurship skills. Then first one is business management skill. அப்போ நான் எப்படின்னா 2012 வந்துச்சு. I start to IVD company. Anybody know what is IVD? I think if you are experienced person, you can IVD. Many people are confused what is IVD and what is MD. Medical device is there, and IVD device is there. I am specialized for IVD equipments. I am into laboratory equipments. That is the IVD, in vitro diagnostic. You can make the notes also. Okay. From 2013 I joined a company, because my manager asked me, if you need to make the skills, you have to go from the comfort zone and you have to learn different skills. And the main platform we can get it is companies. So he made me to join a company in 2013. At that time, we need, as you've seen, leadership skill we required, started thinking with it, and budget management also required, because we are working for the company and we are providing service and sales. Sales means we have to go around the distributors, and we have to manage the budget for yearly, quarterly, and we need the skills to make the budget management also. And these are the three. First one, the business management skills. Then second one, it's communication and listening skill. As I told, if I am a Malayali, I have to speak in Hindi, I have to speak in Tamil, I have to speak in Kannada. Then only I can be a part of South India. It's very difficult because communication can make you to next level. So always ready to grab different languages, not only our Indian languages, you can go for German, Japan, and Chinese also, because it is a booming area. You can concentrate on that, and many online courses is there. You can go for that also. And in communication and listening skill, now you are listening, and communication means what you listen, you have to communicate with your people surround you. That is your friends or your college lectures, or anyway you can communicate with different people, or a person who is looking for start a business in a medical industry. You can communicate. Okay. Non-verbal communication, that what you are doing now, because you are not making any sounds, just seeing that, and if some people are just, if it is over, then we can sleep like that. So non-verbal also require communications. If emotions makes it stress management, because when we go for an entrepreneurship, the stress is more. We have to manage finance, then family, then friends, then our lifestyle, everything we have to manage. It is a stress management we need to make it as a skill. And I think listening, what you are doing now, you have to listen to the people around you. Who is an expert? Mostly, who is an expert? You have to make a listen to the people who are around you. And emotional control, what I tell previously, the same thing you have to make. Um, it will not happen today or tomorrow. It will take time. You have to continuously, you have to practice on communication and listening. This is a second skill I noticed. And when we go to third one, that is critical and creative thinking skill. That is creative. When we go for entrepreneurship, only one thing we can, only one idea is there. Other things are we are creating. We have to start from a single point to the next level. It is a creativity. You take a sheet of paper and write 3 words. That is focus, learn, grow. 3 words: focus, learn, grow. Because as we are a biomedical engineer, not only biomedical engineer, actually we are all human beings. What is the end point of a human being is be happy. Be happy with what you do. That is the main thing we have to do in biomedical industry also. If you love the biomedical industry, it is a marvelous area. You can penetrate it, because as you know, and the experienced persons last 3 days, you are hearing with the experts. that it is a combination of medical and engineering. So you can make a creative things in biomedical industry. So analyze it and brainstorming, visualization, evaluation, research. These all things comes from our creativity. So take a paper, 3 words, focus, learn, grow. 4th word, you can make it as happy. When we happy, when I shut down my computer, now you are very happy. No, when I stop my reading, you will happy. We will happy only we get the money in our pocket. Then only we will happy. That's why we are biomedical engineer, we are entrepreneurship, we go for job, we are going for internship. The thing end point comes to money. But before that, you have to think about the 3 words. That is focus. First one, focus to the biomedical industry. Second one, focus, learn what you focused. That is biomedical industry. You can see many departments, many instruments. You have to learn about the particular department or particular equipment. You have to be expert. That is growth. Growth comes from a biomedical engineer as a technician to a manager or an entrepreneur. That's growth. If you grow early, you will be happy. If you grow early, you will get the money. If you get the money, you will be happy. Okay, next slides we are going for 4th slide. It is started thinking and planning skill. Just you take the paper and write the 4 words. That is thinking, planning. Because before I creating my PPT, I start to plan what I have to tell. Because I don't know who is analyzing or is hearing my words. You have to take the paper and you have to write that is my planning. You have to write it, and in the 5th line, you have to mention what is your salary within 3 years. Just write it. What is your salary within 3 years? Okay. Then that is analyze, implementation, flexibility, attention to the details. Yes, that is what we call it is ability, what we call it's a confident on what you write also. That is, if I tell from here and I am asking that you have to write this, the last word is more important, that is a confident. If you are not confident in you, if you are not confident in the biomedical industry, if you are not confident in what you write, then you will not get. So always confident in what you analyze and find. And next slide. That is branding, marketing, networking skills. For an entrepreneurship, this is the main thing we have to notice. That is, branding is more important and marketing is important. In the word itself, you know that what is marketing, what is branding, and what is networking skill. And same thing what I repeated in previous slides, and same thing it is comes communication, creativity, interpersonal skills, collaboration. Collaboration means you can make a collaboration with the people who is more comfortable to you. That is a collaboration. Branding means it is not a brand what you make it. No, it's you. Branding is you. If you make you as a brand, then the marketing will happen automatically. Networking will happen automatically. For make you as a brand, it is difficult what you write in the paper. That's the thing you have to focus. Focus, learn, grow. Then only you can become a brand. And the thing what you makes the networking with the people who is into entrepreneurship. It's all up to your lives. If you like to become a manager, network with the managers group. It is not easy. It will take time. In coming slide, I can show the things. And sixth one, that is entrepreneurship in a workplace. Because present we can't become an entrepreneur within a second, in a fraction of a second. It will take time. So first thing we have to do as a entrepreneur, it is your workplace. If you are not doing the right thing in your workplace, you will not become a entrepreneurship or entrepreneur, successful entrepreneur. Entrepreneur should be a successful man. That for that, time management you required, finance skill you required, sales skill, adaptability, problem solving. Nowadays, we are going for a work. The time will tell 9 o'clock. You will tell no problem. If you can come by 9:15, it's fine. Then you are not up to for an entrepreneur. Time management should be there. If anybody makes an appointment within 9 o'clock, if possible, you can be at 8:45. That is a better thing. You have to maintain it. Then finance skill, as you the words, what you get, you have to make and divide. For finance studies, it more than 1 hour we require to study about finance skill. It's a long process. We can study about that. For sales skill is sales skill. Sales and marketing is entirely different. The people who is hearing what is sales, and sales will be target oriented, and marketing will be you can promote a product. That is marketing. If you are a sales and service engineer, don't focus as marketing manager. So be a sales manager. Be specific with your product, knowledge with the product. You have to focus on the distributors. You have to take the appointments and make it sales. There, without target, you will not become a sales manager. It will be a marketing manager. You can promote the products as your wish. Then adaptability is there, problem solving is there. Many problems will come. First thing, easiest way to the people is, I think most of the thing, easiest way is we blame on others. It is the best thing, easiest thing, and we can make it as excuses. Many excuses we can provide. So, that thing is not happened, this thing is not happened. நம்ம எப்படி பேசணும்னு எனக்கு தெரியாது சார், எனக்கு மலையாளம் மட்டும்தான் தெரியும், எப்படி அந்த மாதிரி எனக்கு பேசலாம். ஆனால் there should be problem skill. Problems will be there. If you travel from one place to another place, you don't know the people, you don't know the vehicle which you have to take, you don't know how to take the food also. It's very difficult. So problems are, it's all things comes under biomedical engineering, because biomedical engineer have to travel from point to point. Then only you become a biomedical engineer. Okay. Then we can go for next slide. As of now, I think you are not asleep. It's audible, no?
Yes, sir, audible, sir.
Okay, thank you. Then next thing, it is seventh one. It is teamwork and leadership skill. Teamwork means you have to be a member of a team. When you start your career onwards, you will be in a team. You have to be a team player. Then only you can become an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship, and also you have to be a leader. One previous slide we asked with the leadership qualities is there. If I can suggest one book, it is 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. If possible, you can write it. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. That is a habit of leadership. In that, you can get 7 things, adapt in your life. then you can become a successful biomedical engineer. Instead of that, you can be a successful leadership. Emotional intelligence, empathy, delegate, conflict resolution. These all things I had explained in the previous slides. I think you get that. And anyway, the time is very short, so I'm going little fast. We can go for next one. Organizational skill and time management. Time management is more important in our entrepreneurship. It's I think it's more than 3 slides. It's same thing. It is happening. Okay. In that time means you have to prioritize. Prioritize means you take a sheet of paper, you write it 3 words. I tell you have to write one more word. It is happy. After that, you have to mention your goal. That is 3 years after you get a salary amount. That is prioritize in your focus, prioritize in your learning, prioritize in your growth. Then you should make it as a goal, and you have to multitasking, but it is I am not encouraging that, because multitasking will make you more conflicts in the starting stage. After you have become an expert, you can be a multitasker. Decision making, collaboration. You should make the decision in time. You should collaborate in time. Then only you can be a successful entrepreneur. Okay. Then sales skill is there, because as we are an entrepreneur, we have to make profits. We have to sell the product. We have to buy some raw materials or the products from other people, and we have to make it as negotiations will be there, relationship will be there, data analysis is there, social selling is there. Nowadays, the social media, we have to sell ourselves, and also the product what we have, you have to make it into a social media platform. Then only we can make it to sell. That is sales skill. Sales skill you have to, and the last one, it is stress management. Now you feel like that relaxed over. He told me 10, 10 skills, almost it is comes to last, and now the stress you manage, so you can meditate now, just positive thinking, mindfulness, then sleep hygiene, exercise. Morning for two, just exercise, just a smile is more exercise for you also, because it make a stress free to the people who make you happy. So this is the last skill you have to acquire. I think you have taken that paper and write these 4 words, and the last one, it's your salary within 3 years, and you can mention last, that is prioritize, goal setting, because goal setting is more important in your starting position, because as you are a biomedical engineer, you have to start from you get the details from the last percentage, because yesterday onwards I am also hearing with the expertise. They are telling that you have to start from the startup company. It's very difficult to start in a startup company. But if you start in a startup company, you will get many skills than 10 numbers. So next one is, this is the most important. This is not skill. It is very difficult thing. Stepping up out of your comfort zone. Because as I start from my slide, I told you are in your comfort zone, and you are sitting behind the camera, and you are hearing about. It's a comfort zone. But if you come to my side, you have to be. Then only you can grow. Then only you will be happy. So learn new things, meet new people, see new places, and try new experiences. This is that make it more crispy. You have to be learn new things. New things means you can study many things per day, including a biomedical industry and also be an entrepreneur. It is very essential that learn new things, meet new people, because you can't predict that the people who is around you now will give you business tomorrow. No. You have to be with the people who are above you, or who is we can't categorize also, because every people is an opportunity for an entrepreneur. Then seeing new places, you have to travel from one place to another, and you have to as when we go for the I seen Adil sir is traveling different countries day by day, and his experience is more than what we can expect. um, that's and try new experiences. Okay, that is a comfort zone. It's and time frame I can make it as almost it is completing, and this is as time frame I can I just make it as, because when I think about it, it is very difficult. More I need more than 8 circles, but I am explaining it into 4 circles for you. It's green dot is you, then green is your friends, and orange it is your family, and expert is red. Okay, in first circle, you will be with your friends and family. If you start your career, you will be with your friends, and you will ask your relative, how can I go for abroad? How can I get a job in that hospital? Or how can I be an salesman in a non-person? Somebody is doing business, and you are doing the same business. It's a friends or family. That's the first circle. In first circle, you can't see an expert, because you don't know what is you are not focused, you are not learned, so you are not ready to see an expert. In second level, you miss some friends, because it is very difficult to be around the friends, because everybody friends means it's same in your life. They also need to grow, they need to be happy, so they also move around you, and they will find some opportunities, they will go from you. As second round, you can find at least one, because in first round it's you can make it as years: first year, second year, third year, fourth year. Okay. In first year, you have to learn, so you can't find it as an expert. In second year, you can find an expert. It should be your relative or your friends. Can be. We can predict. So in third stage, what you have to do is more than one. You have to to become an entrepreneur. That's the main thing. If you need to become an entrepreneur, you have to make more than 5 categorize the expertise. That is, expertise means who is expertise in biomedical industry, who is expertise in sales, who is expertise in entrepreneurship, then who is good at communication, then who is good at positive skills. That is an expert. We cannot predict that expert means one who is doing a particular mission. I am telling it's for entrepreneurship. So in second stage, you can find at least one entrepreneurship. Third year, you have to make it as 2 or 3 expert, and you have to be with them. And at that time also the friends will be less. It is very difficult to find the friends circle. Some but birthday party will be some marriages will be missed out from our side, because we are with our experts to become an entrepreneur. And it's the fourth stage. Fourth stage, you can see you have minimum 4 or 5 or 3 expertise, and you can become an entrepreneur, or you will become an expert. What you find in that circle is the fourth year. I'm mentioning this 4 years because I need more than 8 years to become an entrepreneur. Because at that time there is no social media or there is no LinkedIn for in 2009. It's not easy to communicate with the experts. But nowadays you can communicate with the different experts. Till now, we are within 6 days. ATHEENAPANDIAN Private Limited is making you touch on 30 expertise people, and this is an opportunity for you. So within 4 years you can become an expert. That I can confidently tell that if you take that paper and you write these things, it is focus, learn, grow, and happiness. You can mention it's your salary also within 3 years. And last thing, that is entrepreneurship opportunity in as a BME, as a biomedical engineer. What are the opportunities in entrepreneurship? That is, first one is distributionship. You can take the product from, after these all things you have to do after you become an expert, because after 4 years only you have to do. Because it is very uh, what we call, uh, it is very complication. We will be stressed out what we have to do. So always be an expert, and you should ready to make your comfort zone empty, and you have to become an expert in different things. Then only you have to start one by one. Okay, and these are 5 things I can mention you. That is distributionship. You can take a product from different country or different people, and you can distribute in a particular area. Most of the people are, I think that you are doing, or the distribution ship, how it is working. And next thing is marketing company. Marketing company means it's a vast area, because distribution ship, it will work in within 20 or 50 kilometers or 100 kilometers. Marketing companies, it can be pan India. Yeah, it's a single point. We will take a bulk of equipment or bulk consumers in a single point, and we will distribute it to distributors in different part of India. I'm talking about India because we are in India. Okay. Marketing company is working is like that. And manufacturing company means you can find the people nowadays. The booming in manufacturing company, it's increasing day by day, because when you go for last 3 or 4 days training online session, you understand what is a CDSO registration is there, ISO 1348 is there, MDR is there. This all we can become a internal auditor, we can become a lead auditor. These all things you had heard for that. It all things happen in manufacturing company. It's a manufacturing company means in IQSI Medtech Private Limited. It's a company based in Kochi, and we are the consultant for the manufacturing companies. And we are doing QMS, quality management system, and I am specializing for QMS as an internal auditor for different companies. That's how we can make the opportunities. So great opportunities, manufacturing company. For that, you need some more expertise, because it is not easy to take some product and sell it. It's a manufacturing process. You have to study different SOPs. Standard operational procedure is there for different department will be there. You have to find different experts is there. So after that only it can become a manufacturing company. It is a long process, but in coming days it's a booming area. You can concentrate on it. Now, last session I read about the softwares. You can focus on softwares also, because software also a medical equipment nowadays. Because one software, it is used in a medical equipment, we have to standardize it. So you can focus on that also. First one is consulting company. As we providing the consultation for the manufacturing company, marketing company. Marketing company means we have to import many equipments from different companies, and it have to comes in our place, and we have to distribute it. So for licensing part, we need some. We can make a consultant. We can be a consultant for the marketing company and manufacturing company and distribution also. Then consulting means one more opportunity is there. NABL, NABS, you all heard about it. The calibration part is there. So this is things happened by a biomedical engineer. So the consulting company entrepreneurship is also booming day by day. And fifth one is freelancing service provider. We can provide a freelance service for a particular product which is marketed or manufactured by the. It's within 2 or 3 years. It's a booming area also. Freelancing. These 5 things I can suggest you. And not the last. Thank you. Anyway, you taken the paper and you mentioned your salary also. You can make my number 9946951960. You can call me last after 3 years and just tell me what happened. Okay, but 3 things you should be there: focus, learn, grow. And the happiness is if you call me, then I will be happy. Thank you, ATHEENAPANDIAN, for the opportunity. This is Blessing Kuriakos from IQ Medtech Biomedical. We are into consultancy for medical equipment manufacturers, medical equipment marketing companies, and the distributions. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your valuable session in the late time also, sir, and then your busy session also, sir. I know.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. It is such one of the eye-opening session for all the young budding engineers, sir. It is very useful for us to motivate, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. And then thank you for accepting our inviting.
Thank you. Thank you for.
Thank you so much.
For the late night also, I think more people is there. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Adi,
yeah,
sir.
Sir. Yeah, sir. Sure, sir. In future also we will collaborate with you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sure. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I want to extend my deepest gratitude to our experts today for sharing their expertise, knowledge, and then inspiring us all. As we conclude today's session, tomorrow we have a day 4 session at 6:30 p.m. Thank you all once again participation today. Thank you.